Okay. Good luck. Okay. Good luck.
Oh, I'm not even on the right window for Crispy. That's handy. Hi everyone, how you doing? We had Crispy saying
Thanks,
good luck
mate.
twice in the intro.
Thanks,
that was
mate.
that was a mistake.
Good luck.
That was a mistake.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck,
Good luck.
everyone.
Good luck, everyone. Good luck. Good luck, everyone. How are y'all doing? As per usual, let us know how I sound, Crispy sounds, all that stuff. It should be the same as normal. It
Hello.
should be good.
This is an audio test for Crispy Pie. Am I
is.
sounding all right?
It
Bingle
is.
bongle dingle dangle.
Why do you?
Yickety-doo.
It's always that.
Yickety-da. Ping pong.
Lippy tappy too
Lippy-tappy-too-ta.
It's always the same thing. It's always the same thing with you.
Well, consistent. I'm a consistent crisp. What can
Always
I say?
on the move. Honestly, I don't even know. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 37, where we are live.
Wow.
It's an exciting time. It is truly an exciting time. Because we have got a lot to talk about today, have we not, Crispy?
We have too much to talk about, if anything.
Yeah, because we're gonna be doing looking back on Series 6, and I actually didn't say this to you, Crispy, but you're taking the lead on this one because you have to. It's your favorite series, mate. You got it.
My
You
absolute
structure
favorite.
this. Plus, it's your return since I just spent like 2 hours organizing all the pictures for the podcast. There are more
Correct.
pictures and news things and photos on this episode than any other episode of the podcast. It took me so long to set this up. So in return, Crispy can carry the main episode for the topics. But we have got a lot of news. We've got a lot of stories. We've got catching up to do. We've not spoken in two weeks.
I don't know who this man is anymore.
Yeah, it's a shame.
I don't know.
It's a shame.
Genuinely. It's like looking at a stranger.
I know. Every time, man, every time. But in the meantime, I was playing this, buddy. I was playing this.
Oh god. Oh gosh.
He was
All right,
here.
everyone.
He was here in these new frontiers. He was here in these new frontiers.
How long was that, everyone?
What, to
Until
mention
Troy
Sonic?
started talking about Sonic.
I'm
Yeah,
not being
that was
funny, mate.
almost a
You're the
new
one who made
record.
me wait. You're the one who was like, hey, 2 episodes back to back, 2 episodes back to back, and then you play Sonic.
They were banging episodes.
They were. I will
Absolutely
give you
banging
credit.
episodes.
They actually weren't too bad. They weren't too bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, I
Yeah.
hope you're all enjoying that this video actually has the stars in the background this time around.
Yeah.
Oh god, I'll tell that story.
last
I'll tell
week.
that story when we start the actual episode proper. Because last week, man, last
It was
week,
something else.
It was something
else.
It truly
You
was.
poor.
something
I woke up to just the most insane amount of messages. And what did I say? I thought you were going insane. It was
You
like,
thought I was having a mental
reading the
breakdown.
last
You
words.
weren't
Yeah.
entirely wrong, to be honest. You weren't entirely
No.
wrong.
No.
Actually, I'm going to do this. Look at this, everyone. We're going to be using this a lot today, let me tell you. But we want to mention what I was up to this week for all the story's sake. There's one thing we need to include. You guys don't see this, okay? You guys don't see this. You guys are not seeing this, okay? It's not a thing you're seeing right now. Are we clear on that? We're clear? Good. You're not seeing this. You are not seeing this. You are not seeing this. Boom, you
I'm
didn't see
seeing it.
Seeing
I
what,
saw
Crispy?
it.
Seeing what?
Oh,
What did you say?
I'm gone. Oh, you've paused me, so
I
I
have
was just
paused you
like...
because I imported a scene. Yeah, there we go. That's what happens every
All
time.
right.
Every time I import a scene. Every time, man.
Every damn time, son.
So don't worry about that. We've also got this scene still from Fall Guys. Look at this. Look at this. Crispy. It's from the Fall Guys stream.
Oh god, the Fall Guys one.
We need to do that again.
Louise.
We need to do that again. We need to
Oh,
do the
Mr.
Fall Guys.
TARDIS is in the chat.
Is it? Oh, wow. Wow, look at that. Popping in to say hi, and the
Wow.
girly waist is a 10 out of 10. I fully
Yeah.
agree. Fully agree. Well said. Well said. Well said.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
You changed the numbers? I did, Sarah. I actually did well this time. I spent so much time. Wait, you got your DVD of Doctor Who Am I? That's in my letterbox. It was delivered last night at like 10 p.m. and I never went and got it. Should I go and get it?
Yeah, quickly. I'll
Okay,
chat
you
to the
carry.
people.
I'll
chat
go
to
get
the
it
people.
quick.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
note
yeah.
the t-shirt. They'll be relevant shortly. That'll be
Oh
relevant
my
shortly. I'm in my
gosh.
PJ pants as
Oh
well. Let's go,
my-
gamers. Woo!
Oh
Right, okay, see you in
my
a sec.
goodness.
Carry the podcast, Crispy. Do it. Carry it. I know
So-
you haven't got as much charisma, but I'm sure I have faith in you. You can do this.
Oh
okay?
my.
Deep
I got
breath.
crispy
Like
charisma
Capaldi,
for days,
deep breath.
bro.
You'll be fine. Okay? See you in a sec.
Ridiculous. Go! Go! Okay, guys, now that it's just us, please, whoever's in the chat, just send as many bennies as you can. Troy will come back and be so disappointed that there are so many bennies in the chat. So just do that for me. Really, really appreciate it. How are you guys? Are you doing well? I'm doing very, very well. So I just did some Christmas shopping. It's a lot of fun. I got, what did I get? I don't even know what my stuff is. I got this for my dad, which I thought would be funny. Some, the best or the worst cheesy jokes, and it looks like a little thing of cheese. A little thing of cheese. So, you know, my dad's a cheesy guy. I'm a cheesy guy. We're cheesy crisps. What can we say? What can we say? Oh, thank you. Finally, the bennies are rolling into the chat for me. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Well done, everyone. Well done. Troy's going to be so annoyed. Oh, Benny supremacy. Absolutely, Mr. TARDIS. Abso-bloody-tootly. So, while we're waiting, why don't you guys tell me what your favorite episode of Series 6 is? Because then I'll get a kind of general consensus and I'll have the inside knowledge before Troy comes back.
Oh, for
dear,
God's
he's
sake,
coming back.
you can see the bennies in the
back.
chat. For God's sake. I come back
knew
in
it
the
would
chat
be worth it.
full of Benny.
I knew it would be
God's
worth
sake. Oh. Ta-da!
Oh, nice!
Let me take the cellophane
Can you
off.
hold it
It's
up
a bit-
closer?
it's a bit
Can you hold it
shiny.
up closer?
Okay, I can, but let me take
For
the
me,
cellophane
please?
off. We're going to build up suspense, okay? Do some dramatic music,
gosh.
Crispy. I mean, you can't, but you're not
I
in
will.
charge of this one, you know? You got to take charge for a brief period of time.
She's so hot, teasing me. So
Yeah, isn't that the one from Johnny English?
Take a chance on a chick like
It is,
you.
yeah.
It's an ABBA song. I don't know. It might
Is
be a
it
Johnny
dance
English.
with your honey? If you think it's funny, does your mama know that you're out?
That's right.
Bam.
Oh, wow.
Doctor Who
Oh,
Am I
wow.
on Blu-ray, ladies and gents. And as they said during the last episode, if you want to support the film, buying the Blu-ray is the best way to do it. They get the most money out of that. I'm pretty sure this was more expensive than... I was going to say both the cinema tickets, but probably not quite both, but not far off. So buy the Blu-ray or the DVD, you know. See, unlike Crispy, I actually can play Blu-rays because I don't live in 2004. So,
Hey, I like living in the past.
yeah,
I like
you
living
clearly
in the
do.
past.
You clearly do. What takes priority? Doctor Who Am I or Sonic Frontiers? I don't know, you know. It's a close one. It's a close
Well,
one.
you are doing a Doctor Who podcast, so...
Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic
Yeah,
at the
exactly.
front, mate.
There is something behind it that we're going to talk about. Do you see what that is, Crispy? Don't tell everyone.
It's a tease! It's a tease!
It's a tease. There's something there.
Oh my
There's something
God,
there.
oh
If
my
you think you know
God.
what it is, you might not. Unless you saw me tweet about it, because the tweet actually did really well. I was kind of surprised. Like, it got loads of likes. I was like, oh, sheesh. Look at that. Sheesh. Right.
All right,
So.
we're going to do it?
We can go straight into it, right? How many people are watching? How many people are watching? Who's hanging out? Who have we got?
3 million, Troy.
3 million!
We're breaking
No way.
YouTube
No way.
records.
No way. 25, 27 currently? Very nice. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Very nice. Thank you all very much for joining.
Should we, by the way, Crispy, you know I asked you about the other one on the 22nd December. Are you good for that?
Yeah, I just checked my calendar. I should be. I should
Fantastic.
be.
So we can announce that.
I
during
leave on
live
the I
stream.
leave on the 23rd. So.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool. Cool. Playing Sonic Frontiers, watching Doctor Who Am I in the background. Yes. Correct. Correct. Do you know what's
That's not
funny
bad.
about that? As
Not
well,
a bad
Crispy?
idea.
They just announced they're doing some more updates for Sonic Frontiers next year, adding a bunch of new content in, and I was like, wow, for a single player story game, I thought it'd be one and done, but no. There's gonna be some cool stuff
Well,
coming.
good.
So
Good for them.
I've got more
Good
reason to
for
talk
them.
about it, so you're gonna love that, baby. You're gonna love that. You should play it.
I love Sonic so much.
He's
I
here.
do, actually.
He's reaching far across these new frontiers. I'm gonna keep making that joke. I hate it. I keep making that joke. It's a problem. Right.
All right. We doing the thing?
Well, no, we're not because we need an intro gag first, right? We need an intro.
Just
gag.
do the Benny bit.
Do the Benny bit. Do the Benny bit.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What's the Benny bit?
You left and I was like, hey guys, can we all just spam the chat full of bennies?
Did you say it in a way that it would work for context for an intro?
Absolutely, I did.
Okay, good. Did he actually do that, chat? I don't trust him.
I absolutely, it would work. It would 100% work.
Promise me. Promise me. Promise me. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I think you're
promise
being
you it will
devious.
work.
I think you're being a master, a podcast master, if you will.
We can do another intro if you want to be safe.
Always be safe, Crispy. Always be safe.
Okay. Okay, what do you want to do then?
Make sure that you do robes.
I do robes.
We always do robes. We always do robes.
Yeah.
Look, everyone already told me.
Yeah.
How many pops do you have now? Don't ask questions.
Too many.
Don't ask questions.
Too
I
many.
need to shave this beard. I was going to shave it for the podcast. Look at this. Hang on. If I just do that, look at that. Look how bushy it gets.
Oh my gosh, you're a beast.
I am the beast below.
Beast.
I'm the beast below, but
Oh
that's
my
not quite the
gosh.
right season, so... You know?
No.
Ooh.
You're stuffed up there, mate.
Benny would be a good intro. All right, you know what? Do you know what? I'll trust Crispy. And
Thank you,
if
everyone.
the episode has a bad intro, it's his fault.
Yeah, I'll re-record it.
Just record an intro on your own without me.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
Hi,
guys,
hi everyone. This is Crispy
my
doing an
favourite
intro
series.
because the intro I did was very bad and Troy judged that it was awful. So there you go. That'd be the
All
intro.
right.
That would be the intro.
Beautiful.
All right. Sure, camera okay. It's a tiny bit laggy on the frames, mate. You all right there? It's just jumping a little bit, not massively, just a little bit.
I don't know. It should be okay.
Yeah, it should be fine. I just wanted to check and make sure
It's
you know.
audio platform. As long as my audio is coming through, that's all I really
Trust
care
me,
about.
the amount of stuff we've got video-wise on here, it is a video episode. Trust me. Like, for instance, when we go over to this page in a minute, I have got about 5 or 6 different categories, and some of them have about 11, 12 photos to them. So, in fact, I will give you a bit of a tease, because we're going to get into it. We have got the podcast Spotify Wrapped. One of our listeners, Sarah Glover, sent about 10 photos in that we're going to go through, so Sarah, get ready for that. We've got a
Sarah,
Comic-Con photo
shout
with
out.
another regular listener, Time Lady. She got a picture with Jodie, wants us to share it, so we're going to do that. We've got some news, plenty of articles to talk through. We've got Millie Gibson to talk about, and there's a story about this here that Crispy wants to know about. So I thought that'd be funny to start the podcast.
I do.
So we got that.
I
as
do.
Well. We got that as well. So there's
In our
plenty.
Spotify Wraps.
Yeah, exactly. There's gonna be some fun stuff. There's gonna be some fun stuff. I just went back to our emails and I got really confused because it looked like the most recent email for the podcast was the Millie Gibson episode is now processing, and I was like, hang on a minute, what?
Oh, hold on a
But I
second.
scrolled down, so the most recent
You
one is a comment on
silly
the
boy.
channel. There's a oh wait no, this is now live on your. Why have we had an email to tell us that we're live on our channel? I think we know this. YouTube.
I don't
think
know.
we...
I don't know where I am.
Yeah, no, I don't know where I am. That's next series, Crispy. Next series.
Sorry.
Not this one. Not
Sorry.
this one. Next one. Okay, not this one. It's the next one. Are we clear? You okay?
Yeah.
I've got the peak
Yeah.
shirt. You better have. That's Kim. 10Ds in the chat. Very epic. I have got the peak shirt. So get ready for that story. So,
All right.
are we good to just
Alright.
go into it? Are we good to just go roll straight in?
Yeah.
Are you happy to roll
Let's
straight
go.
in? All right. I don't know
Let's
how
do
we're
the
starting
thing.
this off because we've got so many things to do. So many
That's
bits of
alright.
news to talk about, you know? So, carry us, Crispy. Get
All
this
right.
done. Ready?
Today, it's my episode. It's my moment.
It is.
All right. Can everyone on the chat wish me luck? Thank you, just to feed my ego. Really appreciate it. All right, here we go. Do it.
According to all known laws of aviation.
I knew.
I knew.
Just felt it
Only
was
because you knew
happening.
it was happening. You
I
knew it was
just
coming.
Felt
You knew it was coming.
happening. All right, here we go. I'm doing it. 3, 2, 1.
Come on, Crispy.
Hello
Hurry
and
up.
oh.
Okay, I promise you now. I'm quiet. I'm
Okay.
quiet, I promise you. Although after saying that, I'm very tempted not to be. I will be. I promise you.
Hello and welcome back to Who's There, a Doctor Who podcast, a show where two YouTubers talk about the best show in all of time and space, Doctor Who. I'm your host, Crispy Pro, and joining me, as always, is the now slightly bushy-faced Troy Red Archer Live. How are you, boy? I haven't seen you in years. You obviously forgot to shave since the last time I saw you.
Wow. We're getting personal, are we? I'm shaving
Look
my
at
beard
you.
after the podcast if I've got time.
Good.
You know.
Good. No,
Got
do it on
time.
the stream, mate.
Do it
Because
on
we are live
stream.
right now.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
great for the audio listeners, wouldn't it? Just get a nice shave around and just be like, nah, across my face straight. Yeah, no. I am going out tonight, so I really do need to tidy this thing up. It's disgusting. But yeah, no, it's been 2 weeks, man. How are you doing? You know?
I'm good. I missed you a lot. I've been on holiday. I've been doing crispy tings, lots of crispy tings
Lots
cooking.
of crispy tings.
I've told you little like few exciting tidbits here and there, but I am very well. But how are you? I feel like you've given me a few updates, but I need to know lots and lots and lots
Last
about
week,
what you've been
man.
up to.
Last week.
My goodness.
Probably one of the greatest weeks in my life. I'll be honest with you. We got stuff to talk about there. We got stuff to talk about. But
Yeah,
we should
absolutely.
set context for everyone listening because
Oh, yes.
obviously recording was a little bit janky the last few episodes of how we did things. We did episodes 34 and 35 back to back, and then recorded episode 36 about 2 days after 34 came out. So we haven't spoken now for 2.5 weeks.
For a while.
So we're kind of, we didn't do a live. We were going to do some gaming live streams, and we haven't done any. We need to do some more gaming live streams.
We're busy boys. Busy boys.
But we'll confirm right ahead of time now, even though there's a few episodes between, that we are going to close the year off. 2022 on Who's There, a Doctor Who podcast will end with one more live episode on Thursday,
yes.
the 22nd of December. And we're going to look back on all the festive specials and decide which one truly is the best one. We're probably going to fight over it. I
Absolutely.
can see it coming. I know what you're going to say. I know what I'm going to say. There's going to be clashing. There's going to be butting of heads. I know that.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
it's just the way it is. So that episode will then go out, I think, on Christmas Eve. I think it's the Saturday for audio listeners. And then we'll be
cool.
taking a week off in the festive period and come back start of January. So just 1 week off. Just
Fresh
one.
faced.
Just one.
Fresh
Just 1
faced.
week. I feel bad. Honestly, we've got
and-
such a pattern now. I almost don't want to take a week off, but festive period.
We need a break. We need a break.
We do.
And we should set context for this episode that we are talking about my favorite series of Doctor Who thus far.
We are.
Series 6. I know it's not Troy's favorite, but I have the biggest soft spot for this series, so we're going to dive into that a little bit later, but we have so much news and things to get on with. Troy, should I just cover off all the stuff we're going to be talking about this episode?
Do it.
So that everyone
Can you
sticks
remember
around?
everything? Oh, you've got the podcast document, haven't you?
I've got the podcast doc right up now. You can see my face just get wider.
Start of the week, I was like, how am I going to keep track of what we're going to talk about this episode? I was like, I know.
Yeah.
Started a bullet point list in our podcast document, and it went on for ages.
All right, Troy, we have so many polls to get through from the last few weeks. Some very interesting data that we have collected. We have some new channel members that we're going to be shouting out.
We do.
We have Troy's going to mention a podcast that he's going to be appearing on very, very shortly. We both are going to show you our Spotify Wraps, and you have to tell us whose is whose. It's going to be very hard to guess.
It's so difficult.
We also have what else do we have? Oh, I can't spoil that. We have Sarah Glover has sent us some photos of her on Jodie's TARDIS.
What can't you spoil?
Perhaps.
I'm confused. What
the thing you were saying.
Yes.
Wait until yes.
Because I can see the audio reading out, and yes, please don't spoil that. Yeah, don't spoil that.
And then of course we haven't talked about our newest companion, Miss Millie Gibson. So we're going to chat about that for a bit. And then we have a bunch of news, which is like the villains and spin-offs and potential guest cast. So it's a jam-packed episode, everyone. So thank you very much for listening. And if you're listening live, guys, it's going to be a wild one. Troy, what do you want to talk about first? That damn t-shirt of yours?
Well, I think we should lead into it with something podcast themed. Okay, well, let's stay focused just a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. So for the video listeners, you can see this. Look at this. This is the tier list screen from episode 27, I think it was. I have transformed this into our new screen. So this is definitely a video one. If you're listening on audio and you can watch on video, we say this every now and again. Watch this one on video. There's plenty of photos and things to show here. Well worth watching the video version if you can. Remember, that's also on Spotify though, so get everyone on Spotify. But speaking of Spotify, ladies and gentlemen, Spotify Wrapped season is upon us. And before Crispy and I talk about our Spotify Wrapped, I can tell you all that I got a lovely email from Spotify yesterday while I was live on Twitch saying, "Who's there? A Doctor Who podcast? Your Spotify Wrapped is here," which tells us all about you guys, our stats, all kinds of stuff. And I thought it'd be fun to go through and share with you guys.
I haven't seen this.
You haven't seen this, by the way. I wish I hadn't, to be honest, because there's one bit we'll come up on that genuinely had me screaming laughing. Because obviously it was like an analytical thing that we'll know what it meant, but Spotify was like, "This is very interesting. What does this mean?" And we're like, "No, we'll get there. We'll get there." That's why it's this. I'm glad this is a live episode, because this is like an hour and a half, an hour and 40. This may end up being the longest episode of the show. Doesn't matter. We've got plenty to talk about. It's gonna be a blast. It's gonna be a blast. All right, Crispy. All I've got to do is teach in 2.5 hours. So as long as we finish by that, it won't be that long. But you get the point.
Well, I hope it's almost 11 p.m. for me, so
it's fine.
We'll keep it realistic.
Soldier through. So here is our Spotify Wrapped. We've got several slides here. I'm going to take you guys through, and I'll talk you through on the audio listeners. Don't worry. So the first slide told us that we created 2,203 minutes of new content, which is more than 89% of other creators in the category. Now, I think that isn't true, because I looked at my Wrapped for the Redcast, and Spotify Wrapped only counts up to Halloween, so any November episodes have not been counted by this Wrapped. And so for the Redcast, because I did a new episode for that last week, we'll talk about that shortly, technically, according to Spotify, I only did one interview this year, and it was 49 minutes of content, and it said it was more than like 70% of creators. And I'm like, so there's a lot of just dead podcasts on Spotify.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. But it's still a lot of content for this podcast. Like, we've done pretty much weekly the whole time. It's very cool. The next slide, this is a question for you, Crispy. One episode really grabbed listeners' attention. Can you guess which one was number one? Is it episode 31, The Power of the Doctor Review, that aired on 24th of October 2022? Is it episode 1, Knock Knock Who's There, which aired on the 19th of February 2022? Or is it episode 14, our favourite episodes, that aired on the 28th of May 2022? Which one do you think is our most?
Everyone put your guesses in the chat, but it'd have to be our Power of the Doctor review, right?
You think it's Power of the Doctor?
Has to be.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Because you're right. Episode 31, The Power of the Doctor review, had 100% more streams than our average episode. Double the typical streams.
Double that.
I mean, it's our biggest video on YouTube.
Ding.
I'm hearing a ding.
What's that?
I'm hearing
It's
a ding.
machine that goes.
What on earth?
Ding.
Why is there a ding?
What's a ding?
I heard. Did you guys hear that? That's going to be in the audio. David Tennant just said ding. It's a machine that goes ding, and I have no idea why he said that. I don't.
Why is my dad at your place?
I don't.
He's supposed
That's
to be
my
here.
Twitch alert for when someone follows me, but I'm not on a scene with the Twitch alerts enabled. So why did it play that? What happened there? I'm so
Maybe he
confused.
likes the power of the Doctor review, and that was him just saying he agrees.
No, but what? No, you don't understand. I genuinely don't get how that happened, because that could happen again, and I won't even know.
I want it to happen again. I really want it to happen again. That'll be a fun little recurring joke for this episode.
I don't. Why is that there? Enjoy, audio listeners. You get David Tennant. He's creeping in. He's creeping into the show. He's creeping into this. The alerts are on the gaming page, but like not on this one. I don't get it. Yeah, so for context, for my Twitch, and also for who's there for subscribers when we were live on the gaming page, whenever someone subscribes to the channel, it pops and goes, it's a machine that goes ding. That's the notification sound. That's not on this scene in OBS, though, so I don't know why it just played that. That's funny.
My daddy works in mysterious ways.
Yes, so you might just creep up every now and again. We might get more David Tennant cameos. Who knows? We'll find out. Subscribe today to try. Please don't. Please subscribe after the podcast ends. I love David Tennant, but let's not even constantly derail us. Okay, so, because remember, there's only going to be one audio track for this episode, so while Crispy's speaking, I wouldn't be able to cut it out. It would go over him. Oh, it's Philip Hawkins. It's his fault. He's just said in the chat it's him subscribing. Philip, you are now public enemy number 1. Just bear that in mind. Watch your back. Okay, there's going to be lasers. Okay?
Damn, Philip.
Damn, Philip.
Kidding. Appreciate
All
you.
right, next up, 46 countries our podcast reached. How amazing is that? Top 5 were United Kingdom, Australia,
Aussie!
United States, Canada, and the Czech Republic.
And the
There
Czech
are top
Republic.
5 countries.
Look at us.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, I was surprised Australia's in the top 5. Wow.
Yeah,
Good
it's
stuff.
Very cool. Yeah, I love that it is
Wow.
like the 2 biggest countries are the 2 that we're from. I love that. I think
Yeah,
that's so
no,
cool.
that works.
Yeah.
That works.
And you would hope
Makes
the UK
sense.
would be top for a British show, so that makes sense. I'm glad about that. But US
Yeah,
as well,
I
you know,
like
US
that.
and Canada, we got some.
Well
American
done.
friends. It's very cool. Very cool.
Thank you very much, guys.
I think the next one might be the funny one. Let's see.
Okay.
Right,
okay.
it is. Okay, so this
Okay,
one,
well-
when this came up, it basically was like, it was trying to identify like funny bits in the podcast where like, you know, there was a sudden spike in interest. And so
Okay.
this,
Oh,
the
God.
wording here is
Oh,
so
my
funny
gosh.
to me.
here
Something
we go.
magical happened between the 23rd and 29th of October because you had 296 more listeners compared to your average week. I wonder what
Wow.
happens during the 23rd and 29th of
Let me
October,
think.
Crispy.
Let me think. What was I doing that week?
I don't know, what was going on? What was
I
happening?
don't know. Was there... Doctor Who was on, hey? Was it?
Was it? I don't think. Surely not, right? Surely not. Surely not.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
Like, you gotta imagine, this is like a moving screen, everything. It's going through like a slideshow, and I was on my live stream. But when that came
Yeah.
up, I just started laughing so much. You can see there is a VOD
No,
on
that's
my
good.
on my Twitch page, twitch.tv/RedArchLive. Go watch.
Yeah.
But if the VOD's still up, you could go back and see my live reaction. Honestly, I lost it. I found it so funny because I was like, Spotify has no idea, but we know. We get it. You know.
Very good.
next
no,
up-
I like that.
Yeah, it's very
Beautiful.
cool. Next up is this one. What percentage of Spotify listeners follow our podcast? Do you think it's 24%, 37%, or 12%?
Let's go 37, surely.
I had faith in our listeners, and you are correct. 37% of our listeners follow
guys
us,
pulled
which is
through.
in the top 10% most followed podcasts, apparently. Again, might be a bit swayed for all the podcasts that aren't that are
They
dead,
might
but
be being very nice to
that's
us.
very cool. It's very cool. But that means there's 63% of you on Spotify who listen and don't follow. Please follow and also rate us 5 stars.
Chuck a follow.
Please give us
Chuck
that
a follow.
5-star
Rate
review.
us 5
We were on
stars.
5 stars for ages. We've just knocked down to 4.9. That happened once before, and then we went back up to 5. So all you got to do is just give us a 5-star rating on Spotify, please.
Give us a 5-star,
Even if you don't
please.
listen on Spotify, if you've got an account, please go over there, drop a follow, give us a 5-star.
Don't do it.
Get us back up there, please. We beg. Okay, we will give you cookies. We won't really, but we'll give you cookies. Okay.
Cookie crisps.
Yes. It also
Ooh.
gives you the listener's podcast personality, which is something that you get on your own rewind for like your own Wrapped for like how you listen to music. Apparently, our listeners are enthusiasts, which means they are super fans, and when their favorite podcast releases a new episode, they're among the first to know, going above and beyond to show their support. Very true. We get a good amount of people that listen to every single episode, and we're very grateful for that. You know?
Wow. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, maybe if we'd re-released questions and quizzes now, it might have got more views. You know, it might have got more
I
streams.
love questions and
I
quizzes.
love how
so
it's like
much.
almost a little in-joke now, because that's like one of our weakest performing episodes. It's like we always look back at questions and quizzes and go,
Questions and quizzes.
you know what I
Could've
think it
been more.
was? We did it too early, man. We did it too early in the podcast life. We should do
we
questions
did,
and quizzes too,
100%.
and then watch it become the biggest episode on the podcast.
Yeah.
That'd be
Oh, we'll
great.
hype it up. No, I'll make
Hype it up.
trailers for it. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's good.
oh my god,
Good.
we should. And then do it live so that we can get live questions.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Oh, it'd be
good.
so good.
Yeah, good.
11% of your listeners listen to most of your episodes. Not good enough.
That's good.
Very disappointed. More. the duality there. That's good. That's not good. That was just a little fun little add-on.
Digits.
Yeah. Listeners scored your podcast 5. Not true. They scored it 4.9, so please fix that so it's real. Thank you very much. I followed on Spotify by Listen Apple. See, look at John Adarte. What an absolute king. He follows on a platform he doesn't even listen on.
Legend.
So cool. We created 36 polls and 36 Q&As, almost like we did one per episode. And listeners joined in on them 1,049 times. For Spotify, that's brilliant. That's really good.
That's insane engagement.
Because again, remember, this isn't all of our audio stats. This is just Spotify. Spotify is our biggest platform.
Yeah.
I looked it up. According to Spotify, we have about 14,000 overall audio plays, or 14,500. I think it's about 8,500 to Spotify. So it's just over half of the audience is Spotify based, about 60%-ish. This is a good indication of our audio listeners, even if it's not all of them. To finish off then, the last one was this one, which I thought was quite nice. According to other people's Wrapped for their podcast, so if you listen to a few podcasts, you get a podcast page for your Wrapped. I didn't even get one this year. I didn't listen to many podcasts.
I got one.
I didn't get one. Damn. But according to
we
other
were
people's
number 3 on
Wrapped,
mine.
Oh, wow. I'm actually disappointed. You listen to other podcasts more than ours.
Yeah.
We're not talking to you for the rest of the episode. But for 368 people, we were in their top 10. For 263 people, we were in their top 5. But 78 fans had us as their number 1
Us as the number 1. That has humbled me in ways you cannot imagine.
Very much. That's so beautiful.
Wow. Thanks, guys.
More than a fan for every year of Doctor Who. How cool is that?
Oh.
Very cool.
Wow.
So that is
beautiful.
Our podcast Spotify Wrapped. And now we get into our new section, our chatting section. We got about 20 minutes of this, probably, then Series 6. So sit back, all right? You're in for a good ride here, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot to talk about. So we lead on to this with a fun little game for everybody. Unfortunately, actually, no, I'll make this audio friendly. I will read it out for the audio listeners.
Yeah, thank you.
So here is our Spotify Wraps for both myself and Crispy. And you got to play a very challenging game, everyone. A very, very, very challenging game.
Good luck, everyone.
You have to work out whose is whose. It's very challenging. I promise you. You're going to struggle. You're going to struggle. So here are the rewinds. I keep calling them rewinds, whatever. So the one on the left, top artists were The Weeknd, Pale Waves, Bastille, Billie Eilish, and James Marriott. 30,000 minutes listened, top genre is pop. For the other, 24,000 minutes listened, top genre is pop. But their artists were Katy Perry, Charlie Puth, Lauv, is that how you say it? BB No Money, or is it BB Not? I don't know. And Ava Max. So,
well, just the way you couldn't pronounce the name.
I know, it kind of gives it away. Like, it would be pretty obvious, judging from the fact that, like, one of them is Katy Perry at number 1. That's not going to be me, is it? It's not going to be me.
Well, we just don't know.
What do you think, though, listeners? What do you think? You got Ava Max, and I love Ava Max as well. So I'm kind of sad that you got it.
Yeah, I was proud I got Ava Max. Yeah, that's Baby No Money and Lauv.
BB No Money, that's it, and Lauv. Right, gotcha. And speaking of,
but I'm just so mad that Stay is at my top. I listened to that song apparently 52 times in January, and that just ruined the rest of the year.
Yeah, it did. Well, that's why I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised The Weeknd came out atop of Pale Waves, because I was like thinking I'd love Pale Waves to win for me, but I knew I listened to Dawn FM so many times at the start of this year. I was like, it's going to be hard for anything to beat that, and evidently Pale Waves didn't quite manage it. But you can see top songs. 2 of them are songs off my number 1, number 2 are off Dawn FM. Number 3 is Lies, Pale Waves, first single of the album. So.
Nice.
My 5th place
mine's all over the shop.
My 5th place song is the Ballad of Love and Thunder. It's the main theme from Thor: Love and Thunder. I love listening to soundtracks. And another thing was when I was playing the Avengers game around the time that film came out, they added Mighty Thor to the game, so I kept blasting that theme while playing as her because it felt really cool. So
yeah,
that didn't help either. That didn't help either.
Nice.
I like how Draw with Cameron Smith actually like tried to guess whose was whose. He had to state that he was like who he thought. You know?
Yeah. No, I appreciate it.
I'm proud of you for doing that. You know, I'm proud of you for that. But that's why, by the way, we were late to live stream by 15 minutes, because guess who just booked tickets to see The Weeknd live, baby? Going to see him on tour next year. Going to be very, very cool. Very, very, very cool. But there you go. So, you know, we'd love to do a meet and greet with The Weeknd, but that would never happen. Maybe I should focus on doing meet and greets with other artists. That might be a bit easier. You know what I mean, Crispy?
Like, Pale Waves? Could you arrange to meet any of them, perhaps?
Well. So this isn't very much Doctor Who themed, so I apologise to people who aren't Pale Waves fans for this one, but you should listen to their music anyway. But Crispy has got a story he really wants to know. And also, regular listeners will know how much of a fan I am of Pale Waves. I've mentioned them a few times on the podcast. And we should honestly do a compilation of every time I mention. There should be a few videos we should do.
Oh my
like
gosh,
all of
that's
Crispy's
funny.
segues, all the times Troy mentions Pale Waves, because shout out to the one-time lady. In fact, I'll show this now. Here is our one-time lady. Her face reveal, because she's already revealed it. She did say we were okay to share this photo. I did check with her. But she met Jodie Whittaker at London Comic Con Winter the weekend before last. She wants us to share it. Because One Time Lady is starting to get a bit of a YouTube following. She's got 300 subs. She's doing little Doctor Who meme videos and all sorts. And she did a video of Who's There, a Doctor Who podcast having a plan for 2 minutes, 15 seconds. And it's a very funny little video.
Really?
If you not, I told you she was doing this. Have you not seen the video?
Yeah, I didn't realize it was out.
It's out. It's been out for like a week, bro.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll watch it in my own time.
We should hire her to do like compilations of like all this stuff. She has to listen to like 40 episodes, so I'm not. I'm gonna do it in the background. I'm gonna start playing the episodes, and then note down where all like the bits are, and then I'll pull them out like mentions of Paul. I'd love for the end of the year, like when we're not uploading an episode, to have like the compilation of all the polls on YouTube. It might be too much for me to spin around, but I might try it.
That's pretty funny.
You saw this on the community tab. There you go. Yeah, so it's so cool. I love that photo. I know she loves that photo as well. She gave us a real first name, but I feel weird. Like, do we call her by her first name, or do we just stick to Time Lady? You know, by this point,
It's the Time Lady. It's the Time Lady.
She's the Time Lady. She doesn't. We don't need to know the Doctor's name, so you don't need
She
to know her
need
name.
it.
You know, that's up to
I'm
her.
crispy, bro.
But yeah, so that was what I was talking about, compilations, things like that. Because on Saturday, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to keep on this screen because there's a reason in a minute. On Saturday. Well, the whole week was chaotic, to be fair, because I'm glad we didn't record an episode of the Doctor Who podcast last week. Because my best friend Zaylee came back over to the UK and stayed on Wednesday, Thursday night. So Wednesday to Friday was almost off limits for me to do anything. Tuesday night, I did an interview with the voice of Dr. Eggman, Mike Pollock. I still can't believe I landed that. I still can't believe that happened.
Crazy.
And when it launched on my channel, I expected it to not do too well because it wasn't Payday themed. It has like 3,500 views. Like, that's more than some of the Payday-themed episodes in not even a week. It's ridiculous. I'm so chuffed about that. I'm so chuffed about that. So
awesome, mate.
If anyone did happen to listen to that episode on my channel, thank you very much. It's done really, really well. I'm very grateful about that. So I had to edit that. I then had to edit the Who Am I interview during that week, which is why it ended up with no stars in the background of the video. Because when Zaylee left about 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon, I had that whole night. I literally cancelled my stream to edit the Doctor Who Am I interview and the Eggman interview. Finished the Eggman one, and then went on to Doctor Who Am I. I only ended up getting 4 hours of sleep because I was going to the radio the next morning to do cover work. And so I went to bed about 2 a.m, was getting up at 6. As I was going to bed, realised the video had rendered without the starry background. Because I mute it in Vegas because it helps the computer run faster because it's a 4K video. It's very like CPU intensive. And normally I unmute it and then render it. I'd forgotten to do that. So then I went back and went, right, I'll have to unmute it. I'll render it again. I'll set an alarm for an hour's time and re-upload it. So I did that. Woke up and realised Vegas had crashed in the re-render. So then I set it to render again and set another alarm for an hour's time. When I woke up after that, I realised that I didn't realise. I woke up, saw it, and uploaded it, slept for another 2 hours, woke up at 6 in the morning, and realised that because Vegas had crashed and I'd reopened it, it had reopened a version with the starry track muted once again, and I hadn't clocked it because I was half asleep. So I interrupted my 4 hours of sleep to get an hour, and 2 hours to fix a video that didn't even end up getting fixed. That's how chaotic my week was, ladies and gentlemen. That's how chaotic. It was crazy. It was crazy.
My boy, I feel so sorry for
I know.
you.
It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, it's hectic.
But amidst all that busy week, it wrapped up on Saturday night with me going to see Pale Waves on their new tour in Liverpool.
Woohoo!
And so as you lot know, my mum has some like mobility issues. It's like we've talked about previously with Comic Con, so like getting in access queues, that kind of thing, because she can't be up on her feet for very long periods of time. She's got like a walking stick, whole thing. But because of that, we had booked accessible seating for the Pale Waves gig. It was meant to be a big open warehouse type thing, but there's a balcony with a bit of seating you can get into. And we got to the place, they showed us up there, they took us through a lift and were like, right, you go sit up here. And it was a little cordoned off bay. It was like a VIP area. There was actually like, you know, there's like those jokes, there's like a guard there with like a cordoned off rope and he like moves it and goes this way, sir. Literally like that. So he opened it up for us. We went in there and it was a little seated area. And then about 10, 20 minutes later, this woman comes over and goes, is this the VIP area for like VIP guests? And I just said, I don't know. We're here for access, but I mean, it is cordoned off, so it probably would be for VIPs as well. She went, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I'll just ask. And she walked off. And then someone who was with her came over to me and tapped me on the shoulder and went, did you know that was Heather's mum? Now, Heather is the lead singer of Pale Waves and one of my favourite humans on this damn planet. I love that woman with all my heart. And not even like in a weird obsessive celebrity crush kind of way. I just love her. I think she's amazing. And
Yeah.
like, you know, from August, I went to meet Pale Waves in Newcastle. Didn't get the best picture with them that I'd liked because it was across like a table and it was all cordoned off. Some of the meet and greets that let you pose with them, HMV in Newcastle, were like, no, I don't know why. So I was desperate to go to this gig, and my plan was after the gig, I was going to wait outside the stage door, try and meet the whole band, but the main focus was get a picture with Heather. Because I really, really wanted to do that, and I think I told you at that meet and greet before it started, I saw Heather and her girlfriend at Starbucks, and I was going to go over and talk to her, but I was like,
oh my god,
they're a couple, I don't want to creep in on them when they're about to do a meet and greet anyway. It'd be really rude if I go over and go, hi, can I get a picture? So I left it.
Yeah.
And obviously in hindsight, I was like, I would have got a picture with her if I'd done that, but also respecting personal boundaries, whatever. So I was going in thinking, I'm going to finish this gig, go to the stage door, wait in the cold for a couple of hours, and meet her. And the only reason I was doing that was because my mum was kind enough to say she'd go and sit and wait in the car, which if she'd done that for very long, it wouldn't have been good either. So I wasn't going to be even there, probably not even for 2 hours. I probably would have capped after about half an hour. But then Heather's mum had spoken to me. She tapped me on the shoulder and asked me about the VIP thing, and I was like, oh my god, what on earth? This is Heather's mum. This is so cool. And like, throughout the whole gig then, she was stood up next to me because I stood up at the railing next to her. My mum was sat down next to me because I was like talking to his mum at the same time. She was having a big old chat to me about, she was showing me pictures of Heather off her phone. Like, she had a picture that Heather had put like a dog in her boots and sent it to her mum. Like, pictures on her lock screen and everything. And I was going, this is Heather's mum showing me what is going on. What is happening?
Yeah, that's so weird.
What is going on?
That's so surreal.
Yeah, honestly, I was like, oh, wow, what is happening? And she asked me like what her favourite song is, what my favourite song of the band is and all this, and talking right the way through the gig. And at one point she's like, have you met Heather? And I was saying, like, I met her at a HMV meet and greet earlier in the year. Said, I'm really keen. I'm going to actually wait after stage door. And now if mum's, like, okay, like, pain-wise, I'm going to go out and try and meet her at the stage door.
Yeah.
I told her the story, like, how I'd seen it at Starbucks. And she was like, oh, okay, fair enough. And then that was, like, halfway through the gig. We got to the end of the gig. And as we were packing up and we were going to go, the guard, like, came over because he was going to escort us out because disability access. But just as he came over, Heather's mum tapped me on the shoulder and went, just wait here for a minute. Just don't go anywhere just yet. Don't go anywhere just yet. And I was like, okay. I kind of in my head was thinking, is this where I'm going? Where I'm thinking it's going, but I kind of didn't answer in my head. I was like, no, it won't be, but I'll just say. And the guard came over and went, we're just staying here for a minute if that's okay. He went, yeah, that's fine. 2 minutes later, Heather's girlfriend turned up. And I was already like, hello? What's happening here? Like, she turned up and I didn't properly register, and then someone went, that's Kelsey, right? And I was like, oh my god, because Kelsey's like their photographer. She like they kind of have a relationship with Heather's like the front of the band, and she's like in the background. She gave loads of ideas to the music. She takes the pictures. It's a lovely little relationship.
Oh, nice. That's
I actually
really
read
cool.
up. I was looking up something about yesterday. Apparently they're going to try and get married in Las Vegas, like a quick like kind of drive-through wedding type thing, but COVID stopped it. So they're such a cute couple, honestly.
Damn it.
But I met Kelsey. Got a picture with her. I will show that.
Cool.
Not just yet. Because her dad got on the picture, which was really, really funny. Because I spoke to her dad a little bit, but he was off getting drinks for most of the gig. He wasn't next to it. His mum for most of the time. But he got in the picture. But then after that, about 5-10 minutes later, Heather's mum went, right, come with us. We went down the stairs, right through the gig, down into the backstage in the green room. And lo and behold, 2 minutes later, Heather came out. And she was hugging all of her family. It was her mum, her dad, her auntie, and some of their friends.
Damn, the whole
and
fam
then
was there.
Heather's mum just went, and this is Troy. And I was gone. I was gone, mate. I was gone. That was it.
So
my mum was stood there with me, like she was
the whole family.
Yeah, this is she's like, oh hi mum, oh hi dad, blah blah blah. This is Troy. Hi Troy. I was like, because it was bad enough. It was big enough for me when I got to the meet and greet. And I said to you, like, I got there just as they were leaving the HMV, and Heather was like, hi, and I went hi, and I walked past like. This time it was like, hi Troy, and I was like, oh my god. So I was gone. But I explained to her about the meet and greet. That's legitimately
so cool.
Yeah, and I told her about the Starbucks thing, and I said, I saw you and Kelsey at the Starbucks. I didn't want to go over, and she went, "Oh," so like she kind of like she's very kind of she's a woman of few words. She doesn't say loads when she's talking to people. Yeah. But when you get a vibe, like I could just tell from the way she acted, she was like, "Thank you for not coming over," because I feel like most people would not have done that.
Sake. Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Nah, I like that.
So that was lovely. And then as we were just having a bit of a chat, I was saying about how much I loved her music. Even my mum was jumping and going. She was like, I love that you have that Vivienne Westwood necklace you wear all the time. She was like, oh yeah, thank you. Like she just knew that, and I was like, they're having their own chat as well.
They're going on. Yeah, wow.
But then her mum went, right, come on, let's get some pictures. So, ladies and gentlemen,
here we go.
There's the picture of me with Heather's girlfriend Kelsey and her dad on the right, and then the picture of me with Heather on the left.
Can we get some claps in the chat, please?
We'll literally never forget this.
Incredible story.
And wearing the Flux hoodie again, which, as the time lady points out in the comments, all I wear is this Flux hoodie. It's because it's the only hoodie I have that is size medium since I've lost weight. I want to buy a couple of Pale Waves hoodies, but I can't. I have no money. So, Crispy, unless you want to buy me one for Christmas, Or, you know, if anyone wants to
get you a Christmas present.
do a super chat, I'll buy a Pale Waves hoodie if Crispy consents. If someone does a super chat, I'll buy a hoodie.
Yeah.
No, so that's why I'm wearing that. But I will be honest with you, Crispy. As soon as this finished and I left that green room, I literally, you know, like in a reality show where someone like kind of just like squats against a wall and has like a bit of a breakdown. As soon as the door shut in the green room, I spoke to Kelsey a bit more as we walked off. Went to the corner, just literally squatted and just started crying.
Wow.
I basically
it's a big night.
Didn't stop crying all the way over to the car. My mum literally rang my granddad and my stepdad to tell them what had happened because they knew we kind of planned to meet Heather. They were like thinking, oh, we'll wait at the stage door, maybe get a blurry selfie. No, backstage, nice little chat, loads of photos. And I literally I couldn't, I still haven't properly processed it in a lot of ways. It's just...
That is brill.
It's a crazy thing.
That is brill.
And then it was topped off at the end after that because I posted a story about it on my Instagram and put it on my story. And the double thing is Heather saw the story and replied with a heart, and Heather's girlfriend liked the Instagram post. So I just...
Brilliant.
Heather doesn't reply to Instagram story
now,
messages. Like, yeah, and I'm with, like how you replied going, I'm so glad you two are dating now. And I was like...
Yeah.
That was your response when I told you about that.
Yeah. So glad.
Just
so happy. So happy for you
can't. So that's why it's a long story, but hopefully it's a good story for everyone. I hope that's all right. And everyone's enjoyed going through that. But that was a wild day. It was a wild day. So I had to share
I'm very happy for you, Troy. I'm very happy for you.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much.
That is very wholesome. And because I don't know, the entire time I've known you, you pretty much talk about Pale Waves the whole time. Yep. And so this is it. This is the culmination. This is the power of the Doctor of Pale Wave stories. This is it. Absolutely.
And the best bit I should also mention when they did the song, I got Crispy into them a little bit. You still don't listen to all their albums, and you need to, Crispy. And actually, just for the YouTube chat, just in case anyone is interested, I did put a playlist together. Are you going
to link them?
Yeah, I did do a playlist of the songs from the tour.
Right.
So, if they want to listen to... Hey, I'm going to try and get people into the show, okay? Into the band, okay? So, if you want to listen, that's their set from Liverpool, and literally the thumbnail of the playlist is me with Heather, so that's dead funny. But the song I got you into was Change, which was the lead single off their second album. When they did that live, I recorded it and sent it to you on Messenger. I was like, here you go, here's Change. Like the first thing I did. Did you not... Right, you little bugger. Did you not realise this until now?
When have you said that?
It was the night of the gig, like as it was happening. I sent it to you on my data.
I don't
Oh my god, I bet it was buried by all the Heather stuff and you didn't even realise it.
Maybe it was.
It probably was. Oh my god, as if.
Anyway, keep going. I'll watch it.
But that's it. So let's move on. We've got Doctor Who polls and news, and let's get into Series 6. That's why it's going to be a long episode. So let's try and get through the news in the next 15-20 minutes so we have a bit of time on Series 6. Good grief. So, polls. Polls. We have polls from episodes 34, 35, and 36 to go through. So let's just get through them. Episode 34, our poll was asking you, when would you like the festive special where Ncuti Gatwa takes over to air? Because we know that David Tennant's doing 3 episodes in November 2023, and Ncuti Gatwa takes over, quote, over the festive period of 2023. So we asked you Christmas Day, New Year's Day, or another day somewhere in between, because we mentioned that could also be an option like Boxing Day, which is when you get it anyway, in fairness. But according to the poll, as you can see, Crispy, the majority say Christmas Day. 386 votes on YouTube, 39 votes on Spotify, and 91% on YouTube, and 87% on Spotify say Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Slightly more than for New Year's Day against another day, but it's going to be Christmas. Everyone wants Christmas.
Yeah.
So that's that one. Episode 35 was then asking you which Doctor you think Alex Kingston's River Song had the best chemistry with. Now, have you seen the result of this one, Crispy?
I have not.
So, out of the 10th, 11th, and 12th Doctors, what do you think the listeners voted for as the best Doctor chemistry with River Song?
I just have to say, with the most episodes, it'd have to be 11th, right?
Let's find out.
You'd think.
You're wrong.
Whoa!
On YouTube, out of 450 votes, 6% say the 10th Doctor. Fair enough, he barely had a look in and really didn't know River Song then. 46% said the 11th Doctor, but 48% said that with just one episode, River Song and the 12th Doctor had more chemistry. Crazy.
Wow.
I think that obviously her and Eleven still had ridiculous chemistry, but I kind of back that Capaldi, kind of almost like older lovers kind of relationship thing. It was just a perfect... It is
excellent chemistry.
Although Spotify, out of 28 votes, and that is, did have 11th Doctor win with 54% against 12 on 36 and 11 and 10 on 11%. So,
there we go.
Interesting.
I'm shook.
And then finally, 36. It was hard to think of this one because I was trying to think of something Paul McGann themed. So I asked you all, if Paul McGann gets his own spin-off TV series, if it does happen, the thing we all want to happen, Should it work in tandem with the Big Finish audio dramas, reference them anyway, or just pretend they don't exist? Because the typical argument is Big Finish, but a lot of people just say it's not canon, or you decide what's canon, how things tie together. The big one for me that I remember is that obviously Mary Shelley shows up in The Haunting of Villa Diodati. She's an 8th Doctor companion in Big Finish audio dramas, but has no idea who the Doctor is in The Haunting of Villa Diodati. So there are clashes. So do people want them to make an effort to canonize Big Finish, or ignore it? What do you think, Crispy? What do you think the majority have said?
Well, I'm just thinking they have kind of done a little bit of Paul McGann canon referencing, because in the Night of the Doctor, when he's listing off his companions, I think he lifts off the Big Finish companions as well.
Yes. True.
So but I think people will say that yes, Big Finish should be canon.
Here you are. 77% on YouTube out of 344 votes, and 63% on Spotify out of 16 votes say that they should overlap, reference, canonize in any way possible the Big Finish audio dramas. So a very small minority want them to ignore it. Because the thing is, in canonizing it, you don't have to tie everything to the show.
No.
You can just make references even. Again, like Night of the Doctor, he mentions all the companions.
Make a reference.
Yeah. You don't have to base
have a little,
around
give them a little slice. Give them a little slice.
Because, like,
you know?
someone made a reference in the comments saying, Big Finish, there's only, like, they said, like, thousands of people. Like, it's in the thousands that listen to all the audio dramas, so it's not, like, a huge chunk of the Doctor Who fan base, even though you might think it's more. I don't know where they got that information from, if that's true in any way, shape, or form. But,
yeah.
Big Finish is also a very expensive thing to get into if you want to get all the new box sets. Like I kept saying, I was going to get into the Ninth Doctor things, and I just... Money, Crispy. If I can't buy a Pale Waves hoodie, I can't buy an audio drama, okay? So, But I think it'd be nice to reference it, personally. Just don't make it rely on that, because that's then unfair to people who can't afford the audio dramas,
No, definitely.
So, there you go. And speaking of very quickly, we just want to do a very quick shout out, because you can be a channel member on the Who's There YouTube channel, and we have to shout out the usernames of 3Wheelie and Barney the Cockapoo's mum, because both of them have chosen to be channel members. So if you do that, you support the podcast
you very much
by giving a monthly donation, and you get a cool little badge next to your name, as well as the use of the teeth emote in the chat. We're going to add more later on, just haven't had a chance to do it yet. So thank you to both of you. If anyone wants to join, feel free to do so on YouTube. Just click that big old join button, but that's only if you can afford to. All right, we're here for free podcast content. That's it. We're not looking behind paywalls. Come on. So, Crispy, I think let's try and get the news done in about 10 minutes, because I want you to go ballistic on Series 6. I want you to go nuts. Brother. Okay? I want you to go absolutely
It's my series!
Yeah, exactly. So...
Right, can I start with the news?
Well, we've got the TV zone stuff. We've got Millie Gibson. Yeah. And we've got... let's start with this. What is this, Crispy?
What are we starting with? Okay, so this picture kind of appeared out of nowhere. Someone was looking at Google Maps or Google Street View or whatever, and they hovered over Bad Wolf Studios, and they picked this out. And it's, for our audio listeners, it's a helipad with a massive unit logo on there. So this was definitely part of the 60th filming block. This picture was taken by Google, coincidentally, during the filming of the 60th. So what we learned from this, 60th helicopter pad scene confirmed. As we were all worried about wasn't going to happen, thank goodness it's going to happen now. Phew, I was like...
timestamped according to TARDIS Central, timestamped as June 2nd, which I do believe, lines up with everything. So
lines up with everything.
So there you go. So unit confirmed for the 60th. Sorry, helipad confirmed. That was the exciting bit, wasn't
it? Helipad.
Yeah, helipad
I don't care about unit.
Yeah, no one cares about unit, bro. No one cares about unit.
No, gosh.
Come on, no one cares about that. So we've got those. We've also got the Sarah Glover photos to look at. Should we do those now or do those later? We can wrap up the podcast. We'll do those towards the end. Sarah, you got to hang around. Sorry.
Sarah, you got to hang around.
So yeah, we've just got the... Should we talk about Millie Gibson, or should we do the new news? The new
news, and then we can talk about Millie.
Right, so we've got 2 articles each you want to talk about. So do you want to go first, or shall I go first? What are we going with?
I would like to go first.
Okay, which one? Do you want to go with the P or the U?
I'm going...
Just so I know what to put on screen.
With Phoebe.
Oh, okay, well, you've spoiled that. There you go. Right, so here's our first article of 4 to talk about. Crispy, shoot. This is within the last 24 hours, this one.
Yeah, this one is hot off the press, everyone. So it says, Doctor Who, Phoebe Waller-Bridge wanted to help reboot series. What a title, can I just say? For those of you who don't know who Phoebe Waller-Bridge is, she, from what I know her from, is the most excellent series on Prime, Fleabag. It is one of the best things I have ever seen, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge is one of the most talented individuals out there working today, hands down. So, as revealed earlier this autumn, the BBC and Disney branded television have come together to transform Doctor Who into a global franchise for UK audience and the rest of the world. Yada yada yada. And the Sun have reported that Phoebe Waller-Bridge is signed on to help refresh the long-running BBC series. So I think it's all very exciting. It would be interesting to see what kind of role she has, if she's going to be writing a specific episode or if she's going to be more of a executive producer role, like in the background. But I mean, this is from the Sun. They've had some questionable articles in the past that haven't come true at all, but they also have got some stuff that's been bang on the money. So I don't know. I know, like, with everything we've been seeing, there've been some massive plans with this whole Disney Plus deal, and Russell seems very keen to not reboot necessarily, but to reinvigorate the franchise, definitely. And I feel like getting talent like Phoebe Waller-Bridge would not be too left field for Russell. Troy, your thoughts?
People were suggesting that it was going to be she might take over after Russell, and I thought, I don't think that's the plan. I don't think that's it. Because by that point, the series is already on Disney Plus. So it doesn't need rebooting by that point.
Yeah, exactly.
I think just having her on board to help to work with Russell, Russell knows his stuff, but, I don't... Because obviously I want Russell to be running the show. He knows his stuff. I want him running the front of it. But Phoebe Waller-Bridge being involved, I can't see that being a bad thing. Fleabag is phenomenal. A bit of dulls, though, for any of our younger listeners. Maybe
it's a bit. It's
viewer
a bit
discretion advised. There is some content of the hoo-ha naughty that you should be very aware of, as well as other stuff. So just as a bit of context.
But it's very well written.
By the way, the hoo-ha naughty.
Hoo-ha naughty is an official term. We'll be having official merch. For who's there? Hoo-ha naughty.
Hoo-ha naughty. Yeah, we're gonna do a merch store next year. I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah. We'll do it 1 year. We'll do it on the 1 year anniversary.
Lend my expertise. We should go on a call for 5 hours and design it all together.
And that'd be fun actually. We could record the whole thing.
Do it live.
We'll do it live.
Make the merch live.
But just while we're on the subject of Phoebe Waller, I'm pretty sure that she was brought in to help write a lot of the latest James Bond. Have you seen the latest James Bond?
I haven't seen. The only James Bond I've seen is Skyfall.
Oh, banging film.
I didn't.
I don't blame you.
Okay.
You didn't like right? I mean, Skyfall.
Skyfall. I love Skyfall. Skyfall. I only knew James Bond through its tropes, and so all I saw in Skyfall was its tropes, and I was like,
Well, okay, then don't see the latest one, because I feel like I love the old.
I really want to watch the new one. I did want to watch all the Daniel Craig films and then watch No Time to Die.
No Time to Die, I think, is brilliant, but it really does play into the whole, like, not cheesy necessarily, but the whole spy thing, and the puns I just know are written by Phoebe. Like, I could feel it. I was like, that's a Fleabag script in a James Bond film.
She is.
So I am really excited to see if she has any involvement. As you said, it has to be a good thing.
Exactly.
It has to be a good thing. Anyway,
so
that's all I'll say on the matter.
Here's our next one. I'll take over then for the next one.
Yes, sir.
Let's work backwards. Let's work backwards in time, because there's some old ones we haven't looked at. So this is the other most recent one, and I'm going to take over with this one. This article, Doctor Who villains to get their own spin-off series. As revealed last month, BBC and Disney branded television have come together to transform Doctor Who into a global franchise. And as once again, per TV Zone, all four of these articles we're going to talk about are from TV Zone. This is 6 days ago. New reports tonight from The Mirror suggest that new Disney Plus deal will include new spin-off series. A source previously told broadcast. Oh, it's there. Right, okay. It's not that I can't read, it's that it was typed badly. A source previously told broadcast that it's an incredibly exciting time for the franchise, with Russell T Davies expected to expand the universe with spin-off series similar to Torchwood and Sarah Jane Adventures, which, by the way, Sarah Jane has just hit BBC iPlayer, for anyone who didn't know that.
I know. I can't watch it here in Australia. Well, it's so annoying.
It is slightly different. They have not included The Curse of Clyde Langer, which is the Series 5 story. It's very well loved, apparently. There's that, and also some scenes in previous episodes with certain bits of dialogue that they might have possibly removed to try and be a bit more, I guess, PC, and remove anything that could be a little bit problematic.
Who knows?
Opinions for and against that, we're not going to get into, but apparently... So basically, Sarah Jane Adventures, 95% of it is on BBC iPlayer. Well worth watching if you've never seen it. Phenomenal show. The Mirror reports that according to their insider, the new spin-offs could feature some of Doctor Who's most iconic villains, such as the Daleks and the Cybermen. The series would follow the villains on their own adventures away from facing the Doctor. A source told the Mirror, quote, fans can expect to see Sontarans, Weeping Angels, and Sea Devils in separate series, showing what they get up to when the Doctor isn't there to stop them, along with Daleks and Cybermen. But the BBC has told the Mirror that it was, quote, too early to comment on any plans, unquote. So, to me... Surely they don't mean a spin-off series for every villain. I'm guessing it could be like an anthology thing, bit of a what-if type deal.
I would... Like, I was going to say, I feel like it's worded poorly in the thing because it says, oh, they get their own series. I can't imagine being invested...
Well, it did say a source told, broadcast told, so, you know, the wording isn't great. Sorry, TV Zone.
My goodness. But I like the idea of, each episode focusing on a different monster. I would absolutely love that, but I don't know if I could sit through a 10-part Cyberman series. I mean, I'm sure I could if Russell's overseeing it. I have full faith that I'll watch anything Doctor Who related.
The Rise of John Lubick.
I feel like... The Rise of John Lubick, a 10-part anthology.
Yeah.
But I genuinely would appreciate a series where it has a different monster of the week. Well, I mean that's Doctor Who, but where we just focus on a different monster of the week. I feel like.
Do you know what our podcast's about, Crispy?
What's up? Is this Pale Waves? Sonic? I'm confused. What are we talking about?
Pale Waves podcast. Sonic. Hey, did I show the Sonic still when we started recording, or was that before? I can't remember.
I don't know. Show it quickly. Show it quickly.
I have a Sonic I have a Sonic Frontier Steelbook. Look at this.
Wow. Everyone clap in the chat for Troy. Wow.
Crispy, what have I revealed in the back? Oh my. What is that in the background?
Oh.
We should mention
Do that after the news.
After the news, we've got something very cool for the Jodie fans I'll be showing you shortly. If you can make out what it is, that's fine. Don't say it in the live chat. But try and have a look and see if you can work it out. 2 more articles. Let's do them quick. I'll do my one, then we can move on to you. So, November 14th, Miriam Margolyes is apparently going to appear in the 60th anniversary specials. Best known probably for Professor Sprout in Harry Potter films. She's been in so much other than that, though. You can't reduce it to just one thing. She is one of the funniest people in the UK. Often very vulgar. But I love her to bits. I think she's hilarious. With David Tennant and Catherine Tate reprising their roles for the 60th anniversary, it had already been confirmed they will appear in 3 special episodes. But The Sun is reporting, once again, that Miriam Margolyes is going to appear in the 60th anniversary specials in an unknown role. But the BBC have declined to comment when or how. So, you know, they haven't said too much. The source has apparently told The Sun, quote, with an acting career almost as old as Doctor Who itself, it's a surprise to think she hasn't already featured in an episode. Well, she was one of the Blathereen in Sarah Jane Adventures, so actually... But she so it's surprising to think she hasn't. She has, but that only makes her even more of a prestige addition to the cast, which already features Neil Patrick Harris and Catherine Tate, who returns to play the Doctor's assistant Donna Noble. The wording of that makes it sound like Neil Patrick Harris and Catherine Tate are both playing Donna, which is intriguing.
Well, I mean, I'd definitely watch it. But who do you think should be playing Troy in the 60th? Beat the Meep. Beat the Meep. Oh!
Beat the Meep. Imagine if she's Beat the Meep. Which is, again, if you don't remember us talking about it at the time, is a weird,
she's just
like,
a voice actor then?
Comic furball type character that was in the Doctor Who comics like 20, 30 years ago that people have reportedly seen on set for the 60th. I kind of imagine she could voice a little fuzzball like Beat the Meep. I don't know.
So, wait, hang on. So if they've seen it on set...
The costume, we don't think... It could be done we don't... It's like Blathereen.
Okay, so we don't think Miriam is actually dressing up as this rabbit thing. She'll do the voice.
Oh, imagine it just takes them, like, it's just actually a suit, takes off just Miriam's face underneath.
I don't know.
There's a quote I really want to use from Miriam, but it's not PC. Well, not PC, it's not family friendly.
Yeah.
You know that...
Well, she's not family friendly. I know exactly.
Oh, you know the one.
You know the one. Say,
okay, yeah. It's about... She was talking about on Graham Norton about getting autographs, and she went to get a particular autograph, and... It's actually what I did. No, I was going to say that when I met Heather, but that's not true. That would be pushing it. That would be pushing it because it wasn't. So that would be weird. But yeah, either way, she is lovely. She's super funny, and I genuinely cannot wait to see her in this. Crispy, quick, last news article, go.
All right, the final bit of news we have talked about this briefly, but this seems to be somewhat of a confirmation. It's basically going to happen.
Yeah.
But Doctor Who Unleashed, behind-the-scenes spin-off to accompany new series. Shock, horror. We didn't know this. We didn't know Doctor Who Confidential was coming back.
Yeah, what? No way!
With just a lick of new paint, and they're calling it Doctor Who Unleashed. It's a strange title, but I mean, we'll get used to it, whatever.
I quite like Sonic Unleashed, personally. Sorry. I had to slap that in.
Leave.
Hey, look, if Channel Pop's watching this, he'll love that reference, because he likes Doctor Who and Sonic, you know?
Yes, he does.
We should be best friends. I'd be such good friends with him. I should invite him onto the podcast and just replace you. Then he'd get the Sonic. He'd get the Sonic stuff, you know?
Wouldn't it be nice if he came on the podcast one day?
Wouldn't it be nice?
Nice. So, as reported by TV Zone in June, That was a long time ago, Troy.
was.
And follow up by the Mirror in July. The BBC have reportedly commissioned Doctor Who Unleashed, a behind-the-scenes spin-off which will go behind the scenes of the main show. Yada, yada, yada. It will premiere with the 60th, no doubt, and then be a constant thing throughout Ncuti's era, or just the next few eras, hopefully. And they can keep it going and not just suddenly stop at the end of my favorite series, Series 6, which is what we will get to today, guys, I promise.
We will, eventually.
But yeah.
Literally, this could have been... I did think it was funny. This could have been an hour episode in and of itself.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Oh, well,
you know what I mean?
Whatevs. We do what we gotta do.
Exactly.
We do what we gotta do.
We do what we gotta do. But yeah, so there was footage of David Tennant on the set, like being recorded by a camera, like he was going into the TARDIS, but like in a jovial "come with me" kind of fashion. So there were little hints that looked like they were filming for some kind of confidential. This article came out on October 26th, and I missed it. We both missed it.
Yeah, we missed it.
Because we pretty much knew it was happening already, so it wasn't exactly a shock. We probably scrolled past it and didn't even properly clock it because we kind of knew it was coming. We kind of knew it was coming. So to close off, before we get into Series 6, Crispy, why are these photos not showing?
I don't know. I don't know why they're not showing, Troy.
They're not. Why have they not? They've gone. I had everything ready, and now they're not here. I don't appreciate that.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh, Raggy. Ruh-roh, Raggy. They're gone. They're actually gone. Oh my god.
That's right.
I had pictures of Millie Gibson. I had pictures of Millie Gibson ready to go, and they've just gone. Why have they gone, Crispy?
Excuse me, Troy.
I'm actually really upset. Where did they go?
Can you find me the pictures of Ncuti and Millie Gibson, please?
They've gone.
Sir.
They're gone, Crispy. They're
gone.
They're gone. Just imagine that Millie Crispy is there. Millie Crispy. Just imagine that Millie Gibson is there.
Millie Crispy. That's a real
We'll go back to him.
name.
We'll go back to our main scene, then, so we can just talk about Series 6.
Yeah,
but yeah,
hello.
so
Hello.
what do you think of Millie Gibson being the next companion? Very briefly, because we both kind of talked about it already, like between us. But
I think it's excellent. I think it's brilliant. I hadn't seen her previous work ever since her casting. I've seen some excellent clips on Twitter, and it seems like she dealt with some fairly heavy stuff. Was she on? What was she on? EastEnders? What was she
Coronation Street. Don't
Coronation Street. My bad.
Don't reduce it to EastEnders.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah, Coronation Street. And from like all the interviews and things I've seen, and she did that little interview with Ncuti, where Ncuti was interviewing her, which was a very clever play from the BBC for us to be completely sold on their chemistry.
You see the grin in his face when she said the Doctor is very handsome, and he went. He did a big, like kind of smirk. I love Ncuti. I love her so much.
Ncuti, it's so funny, but it's ridiculous that we're getting David Tennant and Catherine back, and yet I am still feeling slightly more hyped to see what Ncuti does. You know,
really?
We're in an era where
you go. Look at you go.
We're in an era where we have the fan favorite combo back officially, and I am just excited to see what the next Doctor is going to do. Of course, I'm going to enjoy the hell out of the 60th anniversary, but Ncuti, it's going to be brilliant. It's going to be
brilliant. Sorry, I was just looking at how I've just realised again at the camera how unsheveled my beard is. It is disgusting.
Oh, it's fine, mate. It's fine, mate.
Yeah, just because you got a haircut, bro. I mean, you sent me the pictures for the thumbnail for episode Series 6. I was like, where's all his hair gone?
I did get a haircut.
It's all gone.
I'm a handsome man.
Oh yeah, also Doctor Who Day. We had a couple of little mini bits, like David Tennant and Catherine Tate saying Happy Doctor Who Day.
Logo.
And we also got the David Tennant version of don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel. Beautiful, an ongoing meme that we all love. We got a cool little poster of all the Doctors. Have I got that to hand? I don't know if I have it to hand.
Oh, look, you've paused me on the worst frame possible.
Have I actually? I want to see that.
Yeah,
that is amazing. That's staying there for a minute. Now you've said that.
Sneeze.
Now you've said that. That's staying there. What's his name? Lee Binding, is it? Lee Binding. He did the art. So let me see if we can find it on his page, and I will show it ever so quickly, purely because it was very, very cool and deserves a bit of credit. So Doctors. There we go. Let's get that up on the screen. And bada bing. Bada
Big
boom.
Finish announced their thing too.
Oh yeah, they're doing a Big Finish audio drama with like loads of Doctors in, Chris Eccleston, David Tennant, all sorts of stuff. Very, very
sick
cool.
image.
Finish. There's the image. Just wanted to show that very quickly. Very cool. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. But there you go. So, is that everything? There's this over here. Shall I show this very quickly? This is poor Series 6. Poor Series 6, Crispy. It's getting
poor Series 6.
You really get to the point here. You have to get to the point with it. Imagine it being a trial podcast episode. You know, and if it does, it does.
It does.
If it does, it does. You'll be going to bed really late, but I'm sure our listeners won't mind. So,
yeah,
I have to mention this very, very, very quickly. Very quickly. because
Yes.
Crispy knows the behind the scenes here. So, as a lot of you might know, I'm very disappointed with Funko for not releasing new pops for Doctor Who for the last 3 or 4 years. They released a couple at the start of Jodie's run and then just gave up, just stopped releasing them. And one thing I really, really wanted was a Yaz pop. Because as you can see on my camera, actually, that is the Jodie 1 in 1300 San Diego Comic-Con pop of her on the coast that I got her to sign. One of my most prized possessions, if not the most prized. But I really wanted a Yaz to go with it. So I found a lovely seller on Etsy called Nicole, who runs a shop called Pops and Pieces. That I just heard the ding again. But only the ding noise. Only the ding noise.
Oh.
Nothing else, just the ding noise. And it cut off.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on.
End.
I honestly don't. But I asked her, and I saw she had a listing for a Yaz pop. But the box, like with custom pop vinyls, obviously no offense to her, but custom pop boxes often don't look quite like the realistic things. And I've never bought a custom pop, and I was like, if I'm going to do one, I want it to look a bit like a realistic kind of pop box and blah, blah. So I messaged her and said, you know, how do you do with the boxes? And also, can we do a custom figure based on Power of the Doctor? Because hers was based on, I think, Ranskor Kolos, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I asked her about that, and she was like, yeah, let's talk it through. So we planned out the figure, planned out the parts, and I designed the box for it to be Power of the Doctor themed. And lo and behold, it arrived this week. Video listeners, look at that. Doctor Who,
so cool.
Yasmin Khan.
It looks official.
It looks official. And the best part is I numbered it 620. Do you know why I numbered it 620 on the box, Crispy?
No, tell me.
Because the Jodie San Diego Comic-Con one is 619.
Nice.
So it's like she goes with the Jodie. Now, you might notice she's got a gun in her hand. And that was an accidental part of the sculpt because I said to her, I was like, can we get one with the yellow jacket and all that? And she went, yeah, I found a sculpt. She's got a gun. Don't worry, I'll remove the gun. And then I immediately went, no, keep it. No. Because she has it in Power of the Doctor, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if you try and get rid of it, it might ruin the sculpt anyway a little bit. I was like, it fits, keep it.
Nah, keep it.
So there is
nice.
Yasmin. Oh, I've whacked the mic. There you go. There is Yasmin Khan. The ring light's really blocking this, but there she is as a pop figure. So my plan is to get Mandy to sign this. I'm going to say to her, you know, I made the box, got it commissioned, and get her to sign it. And then that will go next to Jodie, and there'll be a beautiful little pairing.
You're going to get her to sign it?
Yeah. I'm going to get her to sign it. So,
wow.
Shout out to Pops and Pieces.
Troy's got ambition.
And also, very briefly, I did ask the shop who did this TARDIS piece I showed a few episodes ago. The Interdim Workshop, I believe, is the name. I will link it in the description or something. But if you look up, the guy who runs it has said that if enough people ask him, he'll do more of these. He stopped doing the flux shrapnel, but if he gets demand, he will restock it, basically. So the Interdim Workshop is the name of the store. I will link it in the chat as well as the Pops and Pieces, and I will send you the links so I don't lose them. So first off, here is the link for the TARDIS Flux. What is the real 620? I actually don't know, Elise. That's a very good question. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, and you can see a bit of our chat right now on the screen. There's the links to the store. Underneath it was the weekend seating plan. Yeah. And we just want Pops and Pieces UK. Send that to you as well.
Beautiful.
So then I can pop that into the chat. So there we go. So in the live chat, there are both the sellers. Top one is for the TARDIS Shrapnel. Bottom one is for Pops and Pieces. So if you want to check out either of them, you can. Pops and Pieces is on a break for the time being, I think till Christmas, because she's got a few orders in. But you can message her and ask about, you know, more Pops. If you wanted to make one, you can. And, you know, if you do want to make a Yaz one, I'm sure she'd probably use the box that I made. Just remember who made it, guys. Remember who made it, because I spent a lot of time on that. I think I might still have the PNG of it somewhere, and I'll just put that on the screen very quickly. And we can lead into Series 6. Because I taught myself how to use Photoshop to make that.
My gosh, I forgot you don't know how to use Photoshop.
No, I use Paint.net.
That's impressive, Troy.
I actually
I know.
My mum had a copy of Photoshop that she got from like a photography course that she did a while ago. So she gave me that copy, and I just spent several nights teaching myself how to use Photoshop. You know, as you do. Just as you do. So I'm trying to find the finished version. Where is the finished version, Crispy? Can you see it? Can you see it, Crispy?
I don't know, mate.
Can you not see it? Mate, can you not see it on my computer right now? I'm showing you my computer.
No. I can't, mate. I can't.
Wow, he can't see it, guys. I can't believe this. I'm very disappointed.
I simply cannot see.
Right, do you want to start explaining Series 6, and then we can get into... I found it. Never mind, I found it. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen.
I was about to explain all of Series 6.
All of it. Absolutely all of it.
So yeah, guys, this is actually really cool. Troy sent this to me a while ago.
That's the full pop in a box.
Look at that.
Pop in a box, the full pop box plan. It took a long time to do that. A very, very, very long time. Also, I don't want it to end on the bottom. because it made sense instead of all like the barcodes and
Yeah.
stuff. I was like, let's just put a quote.
No,
underneath.
it's cool.
So that
It's
is
real cool.
That is on the underneath. Oh wait, it's blocking my camera so you can't see, but there it is. I don't want it to end. Boom. So
Nice.
very, very cool.
Nice.
Very, very cool. So there you go. right, Crispy.
Yeah.
Why are we here today? Apart from our big old catch up.
Because today has just been the big old catch up of Troy and Crispy, but we of course continue our tradition of looking back on every series of the modern run of Doctor Who, and today we're talking about my favorite series, Series 6.
I'm out of breath already, mate. I'm out of breath already.
I know. But we're talking about the 6th series of the British science television program, Doctor Who, which was shown in 2 parts. The first 7 episodes were broadcast from April to June 2011, beginning with the Impossible Astronaut, my favourite episode, and ending with the mid-series finale, A Good Man Goes to War. The final 6 episodes aired from August to October, beginning with Let's Kill Hitler and ending with River Song. I mean, the wedding of River Song, not just River Song herself. So yeah, it's my favourite series, and I know a lot of people don't necessarily agree with that, but that's why we're talking about it today, because I'm going to shut you all down and prove you're all wrong.
Well said. Well said.
Thank you.
Sarah Glover in this chat, you've only been going an hour and 15, you've just got started. I think the actual episode's been going for about an hour-ish. So, yeah.
We'll give it a half.
Long one. Should we split it in 2 parts? Do it like Series 6, you know?
Oh, that's actually not a bad shout.
Really? I don't know. What would we title this one, though? Because it's been looking back on Series 6.
Well, this one can be... Doesn't matter. I don't know. I don't know.
I just realised something.
We'll discuss.
I just realised something I have
what
to
have
fix
you realised?
right now. Look at the border, Crispy. Something isn't right with the border.
What's wrong with... Why?
Look at the border, Crispy. Something's wrong with it.
It's blue?
No, it's not that it's blue. What do you mean it's blue? I'm going to fix it real quick. So,
blue.
Crispy, what is your favourite episode from Series 6? Let's start with that.
One of my favourite episodes of all time. The Impossible Astronaut.
One of your
the...
favourite?
It's probably my favourite. I don't know why I chickened out like that.
I know, you are a bit of a wimp.
You know.
A bit of a chicken bog.
Yeah. Well, I just think that episode has so much nostalgia for me. As I've said many times before, that was the first episode I watched concurrently with the rest of the world. And I kept away from news. I kept away from anything. I didn't know anything about the show. The only thing I knew was that it was going to be on 7:30 p.m. on that Sunday, all the way back in, April 2011. And that cliffhanger shook me. Not the one where Amy's pregnant. That one was a bit cheesy. But how the Doctor is just dead straight up. My goodness, little 13-year-old me was shook. I don't know how old I was back then, but yeah, I honestly could not believe anything that was going on. And I think the episode itself is really well shot and really well written, and the silence are just some of the most iconic Doctor Who baddies that definitely should come back. Give them an episode and a spin-off, thank you very much.
Yeah, but if you watched it, you wouldn't remember what happened anyway.
Yeah. True.
So it's a waste of a £10 million budget, you know?
But that would be very funny if the episode is just like, 10 seconds long and everyone's like, huh? And then it turns out to be
continuity announcer on BBC
silence.
just goes, that was a very good episode of... What? Next up is Strictly Come Dancing. And then that's it, just moves on.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
The border was wrong
cool.
because there weren't quote marks in front of looking. I've just added them in stealthily while you were talking.
Oh my goodness. Very well done.
Perfection.
Very well done, Troy.
They're not there on the tier list screen either, but that's annoying, but whatever. So that's your favourite episode. I'm trying to think what mine is, because Series 6, we talked about this a little bit in the Series 5 one. I think Series 6 might be my least favourite of Matt's 3. I don't know.
Of Matt's 3?
Of Matt's 3. I love the series.
All right.
I love
yeah,
all
you did say this. I should be prepared for you to say that.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely not true. Series 7
remember the one thing I will give it credit for is I don't remember anyone in my high school talking about Doctor Who as much as they did after Impossible Astronaut aired. Because people were talking about
it was a conversation
how is
starter.
Amy pregnant? And one of my old friends in high school have been like, oh, the Doctor slept with Amy, and I was like, I really don't believe that's what's happened there. I don't believe that it's the Doctor's baby.
Moffat played with that idea. Moffat played with it very heavily.
I know that Moffat titled the last episode of Series 5 The Big Bang as a sex joke, which if you didn't realise, he did. Apologies to your young ears if you didn't know that. He thinks he's very funny, Moffat. He usually is, but he has his moments.
He has his moments.
He did say it was an in-joke for himself where he knew the punchline immediately, but no one else would know for a while after. It's like...
Yeah.
Okay, Moffat. You can get off the laptop now. Get a girlfriend, Jeff.
You cheeky bugger.
Exactly. But I don't. What would my actual favorite episode of Series 6 be? I honestly, I really like. I don't know if it's my favorite, but my personal standout might be a hot take. I don't know. Let's Kill Hitler.
Stop.
That episode
Really?
is goofy as all hell. There's some weird stuff in it, but for what it does with River Song, I think is just phenomenal. I love the
Let's
introduction of
Kill
River.
Hitler is your favorite episode of Series 6.
And that, I said not necessarily my favorite, but a standout. My favorite is obviously Closing Time.
Mr. Corden.
If I picked out some of
Mr.
my
Corden.
favorites, if I was to pick out 3 episodes that stood out, I kind of want to pick out 4. I'll pick out 4.
Well, you
The
can just
Doctor's
pick out
Wife.
the whole series at this point.
Doctor's Wife.
Uh-huh.
Good Man Goes to War.
Mm-hmm.
Let's Kill Hitler.
Uh-huh.
And it's just left my brain. The Girl Who Waited. I don't know. Sorry, I had a Windows shutting down moment there. So, which one do you want to start with there? Which one of those stands out to you the most?
Oh my
Come on.
goodness.
Come on.
That's so funny. I'm just shocked that you put that in that bunch. Because I think that the God Complex and The Girl Who Waited are some of the best shot episodes of Doctor Who. Hands down.
God Complex
Those episodes are stunning. I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that director is the same one that did the 50th. I'm pretty sure. And Asylum of the Daleks.
Let's do some Googling. Doctor
and
Who.
Angels Take Manhattan.
50th
I don't know.
anniversary.
I'm like, you're the DVD guy.
Director. Yeah, but I don't know every director.
I think I might have this.
I did appear on 50% Doctor Who podcast this week. The episode goes out on Monday, by the way, for everyone listening. So feel free to go watch that. We talk about
absolutely.
Well, actually, they have a special game show type thing they play with me called Who to Be Buried With. Very, very fun time. But we mentioned the Lazarus Experiment. I think it was Connor on there, because it's Aidan and Connor. Connor went, "Oh, it's a Mark Gatiss script." I was like, "No, it's not. Stephen Greenhorn." I just knew that. It's like he also wrote the Doctor's Daughter. I know weird stuff.
Wait, the Lazarus Experiment isn't a Mark Gatiss story.
No, he's in it, but he didn't write it. Stephen Greenhorn wrote it.
I never knew that.
There you go. The only episodes that Stephen Greenhorn wrote were Lazarus Experiment and Doctor's Daughter. So
did Mark Gatiss write anything in Series 3?
It's a good question. Actually,
I don't think he did.
I don't think he did. I don't think he did.
Weird.
Let's have a look.
There you go.
Gatiss, Doctor Who stories. Let's see. What did he write? He played Professor Lazarus in Lazarus Experiment and returned in 2011. He returned in the Series 6 episode The Wedding of River Song as a character known as Gantok. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, the guy who plays chess in Wedding of River Song. That's Mark Gatiss in face prosthetics. Doesn't say about the ones he wrote there, though, so I'm not entirely sure. But I was looking, Nick Horan, the director of the 50th anniversary, directed Day of the Doctor, The Angels Take Manhattan, Asylum of the Daleks, and from our series, The God Complex and The Girl Who Waited. So, well spotted, well known. That's good.
Thank you. I think he might be my favorite director in Doctor Who. Each one of those episodes has such a distinct feel to me, and I love them. And it helps that I feel like, The God Complex and The Girl Who Waited in this series are very, very strong stories, dealing with some pretty heavy themes of their own. The Girl Who Waited is all about, abandonment, and Karen Gillan.
And true love and all that,
Yeah, true love. And would you still, Rory's left with an impossible choice in that episode.
I think I might have said this to you before.
Impossible choice.
I remember seeing the episode when it first came out and thinking it was one of the best episodes I'd ever seen. And then when Mum and I did our rewatch in 2020, going over all the episodes, we were watching The Girl Who Waited, and I was like, this episode is really good, but it's not quite as good as I remember it being in hindsight. But it was because when you get to the last 10 minutes, that's
oh my god,
it's good right the way through, don't get me wrong, but the last closing 10-15 minutes of it are just so peak Doctor Who, like that choice that Rory has to make. And then watching old Amy die is a genuinely upsetting thing that you wouldn't think it would be, but it genuinely is.
It's heartbreaking.
The whole thing, there's also very funny jokes. Two Amy's, could that work? I don't know. It's your marriage. There's great emotion. There's great humor. Yeah. And that episode is genuinely really, really good. That's why I'm saying I don't think Let's Kill It is my favorite of Series 6, but I think it's an underrated gem that I really like personally. Okay. Because When Mel
Okay.
shows up, it's daft, it's stupid, and it opens with her going, "Let's kill
Yeah.
Hitler," and you go, "What are we doing here?" Because it is. It's like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? It is a fair point though. If someone had a time machine and a gun, at some point someone would say, "Let's go and kill Hitler."
Oh
So
yeah,
that
no.
would happen
As
eventually.
far as a concept goes, I think it's great, and of course it's Moffat, the bombastic man, that would do it.
But to open it, and I know obviously there was a bit of controversy over the fact that he ended up indirectly saving Hitler's life, but
Yeah.
I mean, he was never going to kill Hitler in the episode, so what? They may as well
No,
try and make some
they
kind of
had
joke
to
out
kind
of it.
of.
They can't
Yeah,
play it
right.
too serious, like it's a Wolfenstein game or something, because I think, actually, Wolfenstein has some pretty weird stuff with Hitler in those games, from what I've heard. I've not played them, but I've seen there's some intriguing scenes involving him. I don't know, side note. But I loved it. Going into it, you don't expect it to have anything to do with River Song. And then all of a sudden, River Song is regenerated and from Mel's, and it's her whole origin story. How she ends up with the diary, how she finds out who River Song is, the Hello Sweetie, and the Test Lecter as a concept is just really, really cool. Tiny people and a big robot guy that walks around and disguises himself. I love that. And also, it's a great setup for writing a River Song. You know, how
Absolutely.
depending on how well you think that payoff works, obviously, there is the question of, you know, they did kill the Doctor, but the Doctor that died on the beach was the Test Lecter version of the Doctor. It's a good way of getting out. It's a good way of getting out of that.
Oh,
You know?
absolutely. The one thing that annoys me about the wedding of River Song and the whole Tessa Lecter thing is it's so obvious that they filmed those scenes with River in the spacesuit way after they filmed in Utah for realsies, and they were just on a green screen and they had to deliver these lines.
Do you think so?
And yeah, of course. If you see the original like Impossible Astronaut in The Exchange, and then you cut to
It does look
Wedding
different,
of
yeah.
River, yeah, they definitely did not film
It's a good
that
point,
revelation.
yeah.
It's annoying because Stephen Moffat is brilliant with these massive ideas, but he said before that he kind of does it on the fly and he goes, "Oh, that makes sense. Let's do that." But I wish he would have had the foresight to maybe put Mel's in Series 5 with young Amelia. Give me one scene like
very
that.
common
I would have
yeah.
loved to have the foresight of Moffat knowing how the series was going to end necessarily with the Tessa Lecter. He might have well done, but it would have been nice if they actually filmed those final scenes in Utah when they were there filming the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
That's my only gripe, but as far as anything, like as you said before, Series 6 was a conversation starter. Yes,
Absolutely.
there were some average episodes with, you know, your closing times or whatever, and the Rebel. I don't think. Oh look, James Corden's my darling, but I think The Lodge is a far better episode
Crispy,
than Closing Time.
Have you read the description of this live stream? Because I asked 3 key questions.
Oh gosh.
About Series 6. I said, first off, are the Silence the show's scariest monsters? We can get to that in a minute. Was River Song's reveal one of the greatest twists in the show's history? We'll get to that in a minute. Was James Corden's return to Doctor Who as good as his debut? What do you think, Crispy? What do you think?
Gosh, no.
You don't think so?
I think as far as like genuinely, without just playing on this whole James Corden riff, I feel like the role of Craig Owens, he does quite well. I quite like his character in it, and I was surprised to see his return. But I just think the Cybermen plot and, you know, it's Saved by Love. It was a very, like, I feel like Troy, you and I could have written that script. So I don't think it's necessarily the most thought-provoking one, and it's like it's leading up to the finale, and I feel like the last 5 minutes of that, when he's going back to the TARDIS, he puts the Stetson on. We have that scene with River, you know, finally getting into the spacesuit. We get that. That is
wow. I love how Discord
hype.
apparently doesn't think you can sing because it cut you off completely.
Oh,
singing
really?
That. I heard tick.
Oh,
and that was it.
Well, you know what I sang, so but I think that end scene is probably more exciting than the 40 minutes that was before it. So.
Absolutely, it's
but
very
that
daft.
Might be a hot take.
There's a Cyberman conversion there with James Corden all of a sudden because the baby screams. He's just like, I'm going to open this head now with sheer will of love. I'm going to undo the welding and go, Alfie! No, come on.
No, I don't know. It's a fun episode. It's fun, it's comedic, and I'm sure you could show it to, you know, a general member of the public and be like, oh, this is fun, but it's not really the type of Doctor Who that I gravitate towards. I definitely think The Lodger was a creepier episode and a better concept.
True, but I will give it credit. I don't think the batteries work on this anymore, but I'm trying to... Hang on.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to... Hang on. batteries are done, so I need to replace them. The closing time, the sonic screwdriver, it had a sound effect that I believe is only ever used in that episode.
Oh, really?
It was in the replicas that were released even from Series 5. There's a noise it makes. I was trying to see if I could get it to work. It's kind of like a really high pitch. When he zaps the Cybermat on the floor.
Yeah.
And
I know exactly the one.
It was in the Sonic screwdrivers from the beginning. And I remember when I first got a replica of this Sonic, my mum bought me when I was a kid. There was that noise, and I was like, "What is this noise? I've never heard it before." And I didn't even realize. I don't think at the time. I'm going to put this down now because it keeps going off in my hand. But there's a couple of jokes here. I don't do robes.
I know.
I don't do robes. My Sonic is going off in my hand.
Don't do robes. Oh my gosh.
Wink. Sorry, we have young listeners. We need to be careful. No, that's Doctor Who innuendo. We can go that far, but no further. Okay.
We can do innuendo.
Oh, Doctor, you Sonic'd her. But when that noise came, I was like, oh, there's where that noise comes in handy, because they've obviously put it onto the replica thinking they were going to use the sound and then never used it, and then there it is in closing time. Oh, hang on, that sound made an appearance in the TV movie too. Oh.
Whoa.
There you go. Yeah, John's saying 3 presses for the sound. I was trying 3 presses, but it wouldn't work because this is the special touch control one where you don't press a button, you just put your fingers in line and it sets it off. So like you actually have to like tap it 3 times. It's that specific noise. It doesn't like that noise because the batteries. It went to do it and then cut off. No, it's given up. It's given up.
What a taste.
So that's the idea there. I love that with that sound, but I still think James Corden's really good in both episodes. I think he's a really good comedic character.
Absolutely.
And I love the idea of the baby talking to the Doctor, like stupid stuff.
Yeah,
like
that was
speaks
nice.
to a cat in the lodger, cool. And then he speaks to Stormageddon, Dark Lord of All, in closing time. Even though it's a bit goofy, the baby wants to be called Stormageddon, but
I love that.
The oncoming Stormageddon, perhaps. That could be their team name. The Doctor and the baby, the oncoming Stormageddon.
That's the spin-off show.
Time Lords
of All. That's the spin-off show we need. Did you see the theory that he grew up to be one of the people in Nightmare in Silver? Stormageddon? Fighting off against there was a massive rumor going on for a while. I can't remember. There might be a line in Nightmare in Silver. It's like, oh yeah, my dad told me stories about the Cybermen. And anyway, but it was funny.
Yeah,
but...
no. That's like they're trying to think it's another funny reference, like when Clara has that book in the Bells of St. John in Series 7, and it's what's it called, Summer Falls or something, and it's by Amelia Williams.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone in the chat didn't know this, or anyone listening after the fact, obviously, but the book that, when the Spoonhead first appears in Clara's room, it's like, I was upstairs, blah, 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 and then zaps her. It's the kid off the book that she'd seen earlier that day. That book is written by Amelia Williams. That's Amy Pond. She wrote that book, The Summer Falls, with the girl on. So in case anyone didn't know that, because I didn't realise for a long time, saw it and went, oh, Moffat, you clever little bugger.
Oh, really? I saw it the first time I watched it.
Because I didn't think of her as Amelia Williams, did I? I thought of her as Amelia Pond, and it was, he was Mr. Pond as a joke, I didn't really think of her as Amelia Williams. But there you go. Oh, DW Boy in the chat, plot twist, the oncoming storm was the Flux. What's the Flux?
What's the Flux?
Well, we've only got 7 more series to talk about before we get there, so
correct.
We'll talk about it eventually. Okay, so River Song reveal. What did we think of that when that first landed? That's a big moment, right? That's a big moment.
I mean, Series 6 is just full of big moments, and that's why I like it. That reveal shook me to my core. Shook me to my core, because this was also around the time when I was going back and rewatching a lot of David Tennant. And then I realized that she appeared in that 2-parter. I was like, oh, that's weird. That's strange. And so I kind of, by that time, I knew everything about River Song thus far, from Series 4, Series 5, and now Series 6. And so that reveal, I think, was definitely not planned from Moffat all the way back in 2008, 2007, when he wrote the Silence in the Library thing. I can almost guarantee you that was never the plan. But he probably saw Pond River. He saw those 2 key words laid out on his desk. And he said, Pond River, how can I make that work? And he's like, oh my gosh, I've got it. I've got it.
Do you know what? I'm actually going to disagree with you on that.
What? You think he planned that from the start?
I genuinely, do you know what? He doesn't plan everything ahead of time. I agree with you on that. Chibnall gets the same kind of hate for that, but,
Yeah.
But I honestly think, for him, as someone who was going into being a showrunner with fresh ideas and had all these things to play with at that point, at the beginning of his thing, to create a character that he knew would then pop up later in the show, I don't think it's beyond the realm of possibility that he had River Song and Amy Pond in mind, and that kind of reveal that he could build to. And that's why things like Mel's showing up and things like that he didn't give thought to, because his main big twist that maybe he had in his head from the start was that one. He might have gone into showrunning with that one big twist planned, and I genuinely wouldn't have put that past him. I think he fully could have done that.
Since we're live, let's take it to the chat. Please, everyone, give your thoughts.
That could be this week's poll.
Moffat... Yeah, all right, good. Let's do it. Anyone listening, now on the catch-up. Yeah, do you think that Moffat planned the entire River Song reveal?
I think that could be the one thing he planned from the start. A character that was entirely
I'm going to disagree.
You don't have faith in them
but
off.
hey, this is good.
You don't
this
have
is good
faith
content.
in them off.
I do, and I think it worked out brilliantly, but I don't see Moffat having that sheer level of foresight.
Have you never heard the phrase, if you put anything before the word but, it invalidates everything before it? It's like saying, Crispy, you're a lovely guy.
Troy Red Arch alive, but
so
you're
I'm
invalid now.
So I'm like I'm a Windows program you can't open. What are you on about? I'm invalid.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, my chair creaked. Like, not as bad as yours though. Your chair is so creaky, my brother.
My chair does do the creak, but I think the Discord will get rid of it.
Yeah, it does. I'm just gonna like lean back and just pretend to have like fainted or something because you've made me invalid. There you go. Carry the podcast.
All right. Okay. Mateo has said, I think he made the connection in Series 5, not Silence in the Library, though. Yeah, okay, I'll take that. That's probably the happy medium we're going here, Troy. Troy, you're valid, mate. Come back.
Legs! I've still got legs.
I've still got legs. I'm a girl!
But yeah, so...
I'm a
No,
girl!
I'm not a girl.
I'm not a girl.
I'm still not ginger. I thought he said I'm a doll for a minute, like the first time I heard it. And I was like,
I'm crashing.
Why did you sound like the seagulls from Finding Nemo then? I'm crashing. But yeah, so the reveal of her as Amy's daughter is fantastic. Possibly the most shocking reveal in Doctor Who history? One that genuinely made my jaw drop. Like, I love the Spyfall Part 1 cliffhanger, but it doesn't beat River Song's reveal in terms of shock factor in no way. I mean, it feels like a payoff. Like this payoff we didn't know was going to happen. It was one of the unanswered questions at the end of Series 5. It didn't tie everything up. You know, there were still some unanswered questions, as Clever Dick Films points out in his looking back on the Matt Smith era retrospective video. Which, if you still haven't seen, what are you playing at? Fantastic. Oh, getting caught my words. But he said, Series 5 ended with the questions, who was responsible for blowing up the TARDIS? Who is River Song? It was one of the first series where we had unanswered questions at the end of it. Like, he was telling us who this River Song thing is since Series 4, which is why I think he planned it, but that's just me. Well, I have no doubt that he was like, oh, okay, this character is very, very important to me. Let's give some answers. And the answers I think that Moffat was going to give was that, yes, River is in fact the Doctor's wife. I don't think he planned the Amy Pond thing. That's just a little bit of sugar on top that he was like, I can make that work. And you know what, Crispy? Agree to disagree? I think you're wrong. Oh, I don't care who you are. The Time Lord Victorious is wrong. Actually, that's wrong. I just realised we never acknowledged this, but when we look back on our series, we never looked back on the specials, the David Tennant specials. And we never will. We never will. Oh, we never will. Oh, okay. Well. No, we will. It'll be a secret link in one of the videos. Okay. Well, because we need to talk about, the amazing Planet of the Dead and the terrible waters of Mars, And that's the right order. Did you watch my video where there was an article saying that the fly monsters in that were going to be the new big bag of the series? Of like from now on, they're going to be as iconic as the Daleks and the Cybermen. When they were teasing Wow, I'm shocked you know the name, but yes. What do you mean? 17 DVDs, buddy. 17 DVDs. I could literally zoom into our faces on the video version. By the way, I have that power. I could go to me here. I could zoom into me here. I could zoom into Crispy. Look at that. It's on Spotify right now. You just zoomed in on Crispy's face. Look at that. How cool is that? Boom. Wow. Crazy stuff. Very crazy stuff. No, so I'm glad that never happened. I'll say that. But yeah, I love the reactions as well. I talk about loving watching reactions to Doctor Who stuff. That's one of the ones that gets everyone. I remember Failwell 34 in particular, his reaction to that reveal. He literally screamed so hard it hurt my ears. Genuinely hurt my ears. I was like, wow, that's something. That is something.
Well, I did a rewatch with my housemate, and there are certain key moments in Doctor Who that I get so excited to watch on the rewatch. And she, that was Gabby. I mentioned her in
Gabby, yes.
the Alex Kingston
talk a
episode.
lot,
Yeah,
by the
she's
way?
the one. She's sorry.
Does she talk a lot?
Yeah. Why?
Because she's very Gabby.
Oh, is that a saying? We don't say that.
You
here
don't
in
say
Australia.
that. Gabby's like slang for somebody who talks a lot in the UK. You're alright. You're proper Gabby, aren't you?
Someone that talks a lot here, we just call them annoying.
I was worried about what you were going to say then, because you're Australian. We just call them let's not.
We just call them something else.
Speaking of fellow Australians, I see 50% Doctor Who podcasts in the chat. Are you enjoying your huge sub increase from Crispy shout out?
Yeah, you're enjoying my little...
I was your 400 subscriber.
present.
Yeah, I was their 400 subscriber because for some reason I wasn't subscribed on YouTube, and I realised that afterwards.
And you were a guest on the episode?
I was. I'm on the next episode, which actually leads us on to the next question from the description. Were the silence the scariest monsters? Now, I ask you this, Crispy, because one of the questions in the episode I've recorded with 50% Doctor Who podcast that goes out on Monday, feel free to drop the time in the chat and I'll read it out for you guys because I don't know what time you're releasing it. But one of the questions they asked was the scariest episode. And I said one that stand out to me was the Impossible Astronaut because of the silence. Because again, as you said, Series 6 was a conversation starter, and in particular the Impossible Astronaut. Because another big thing was, I remember the news articles the next day saying Doctor Who creates new hide behind the sofa monster.
Yeah.
For the first time in years, there's a monster that actually makes kids in today's society want to hide behind a sofa.
Behind the sofa, yeah. And I absolutely believe that. Like, I feel like one of the creepiest scenes in that two-parter is in Day of the Moon, where Amelia is going through the orphanage. Or I think it's an orphanage. That genuinely belongs in a horror movie. Can you? Oh my.
Yeah.
I mean, not just that, but as they're walking up the stairs, there's like written in blood on the walls, like help or something. I can't remember what's written on the walls there, but it's terrifying. And then that entire scene and the reveal that they're all dangling on the roof, that is nightmare fuel.
It is. It is
and
like genuinely
me in
scary.
2011 watching that, I was like, I am watching the greatest show on earth. This is amazing. Well written, it's keeping me hooked, and these monsters are so clever. I mean, Moffat loves playing with the whole idea of, let's take away one thing that humans have. Sight when you're not looking, weeping angels, I don't know, the teller, you think, whatever. Yeah. But the silence, and a monster that when you look away, you forget. A simple premise, but I've never seen it done in any
so
form of media.
Like, it's so cool.
Yeah. It's just so, and the stories you could tell with that are endless. Absolutely. And so, as far as returning monsters for the new era, that is what I want. And yes, I do think, potentially, just from the character design alone, they might be the scariest monsters in Doctor Who. At least
the
in
way
the new
like their
era.
mouths open was like really, really interesting.
Oh
like just the way they like zap you was very scary, and the noise they make and all that is just like it's really, really like uncomfortable.
Yeah, they are very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable.
Troy, they 50% just said in the chat that your episode will be dropping 3 p.m. Perth Oz time. So
that's
I don't know what
8
that is
hours
for you.
ahead of me because they were 2 hours behind you. So 3 p.m. take away that's 7 a.m. UK time. Plumbing heck, that's early, lads. That's early. It's early, mate.
Yeah.
It's early.
Get it on your drive to work, mate.
Exactly. Yeah, get on your drive to work. You okay there, Chris?
Beautiful.
That's like a nice end to the podcast, was it? Was that just the end of that?
I was like, all right, that's
the end of
a beautiful
that.
moment. Beautiful moment for us to end. No, well, 50% just said crispy cracker bundy, and that's like a Bundaberg rum. I don't have a rum here to,
I don't know what that
crack
means.
open.
Yeah, well, how does one crack a bundy? How does that work?
You don't. Have you ever heard like cracker beer?
No.
Have you ever heard that? Really?
Well,
you see,
we're learning a cold one I've heard of, but.
Okay, yeah, it's kind of like that, but we're just that's so funny. Look at us learning lots about each other's
we're learning
cultures.
so much. We're learning so much.
Okay, so Troy, here we go. I want to do something with you right now, since this is my favorite series, my absolute favorite series. I want to go through each episode, and you're gonna rate them out of 10. Okay, and I'm gonna give you mine directly after that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'm gonna start. Well, you give your one first. Sorry, let me say. The Impossible Astronaut. Out of 10.
9.
I'll respect whatever you do. 9?
9. It's a very, very strong opener.
That's very generous. Okay. It has to be a 10 for me. It has to be a 10.
It's very generous. Has to be a 10.
Yeah. I don't give out 10s very often, but absolutely. Day of the Moon.
7 or 8. Not quite as good as the opener, but still really strong.
I agree. I'll give it a 9. Curse of the Black Spot. We haven't even touched on this episode.
That's the thing. There are some episodes that we do end up leaving out. Do you know what I mean? There are some we don't end up talking about. I remember not liking this as much when I watched it again. I was like, it's pretty good. I give it probably a 6.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe a 5.5. I've gone back to this episode. I like the reveal of the hospital thing at the end, but apart from that, I think it's just a fairly bland episode. Okay, here we go. The Doctor's Wife.
It kind of has to be a 10, doesn't it?
Banging. It's pretty much a perfect little piece of media.
Do you know what I mean? It's Neil Gaiman at his peak.
That is absolutely. I would have preferred that get a 2-parter than the episodes we're coming up to next. The Rebel Flesh. What do you give that out of 10?
I don't quite remember how. I don't quite remember how I feel about both parts. I've not watched that 2-parter in a while, so I would probably say for the opener, maybe a 7. Maybe a 7. I don't know.
I don't know. I'd give it like a 6, maybe. Probably. I don't really know. The Rebel Flesh. I've just realised. You are a little buggy, you. So, audio listeners, I got a marker pen and started drawing the silence tallies on my hand, thinking Crispy would say something, and he didn't. That's permanent ink on my skin. That's going to be so annoying to wash off. And you didn't say anything, and I've only now just realised that you must have clocked it, not said anything, and drew 2 massive ones on your hand. That's the kind of relationship we have here, ladies and gents.
Did you do it because you'd seen them on my hand, or did you just start doing it yourself?
No, I saw it on your hand. And I was
going to say, yeah, you didn't have.
I'm going to play this up. I'm going to play this up.
Come on, my ideas are too good.
No,
there you go. So there you go. I drew them on my hand. You can see that there. I'm gonna have such a good time washing them off. Good grief.
That's so funny.
There you go. It's my tattoo now. It's my tattoo.
Troy, the Almost People.
What did I give Rebel Flash? 7, was it? 6,
7.
7? Probably 6 or 7. But it's elevated by the ending with the Amy twist. But I don't know whether I bed that into the main part of the episode. You know what I mean?
Nah, valid. Valid point. Ooh. Okay. A Good Man Goes to War.
Gotta be at least a 9.
I'm gonna give it a 9.5. One thing I didn't like, they turned Amy's baby into pancake batter. Here we go. Let's kill Hitler.
Good twist. I don't care. 9 as well.
I'm gonna give it a 6. Is that harsh? Perhaps. Night Terrors. Troy's gone. Troy's gone, everyone. Welcome back to the crispy hour of power. Thank you so much for tuning in to Who FM. Oh my gosh, Troy has zoomed in on my face. He's very, very rude. For the video watchers right now, you're getting crispy in crystal clear standard definition. Very exciting. Troy, please come back so we can talk about Night Terrors. My boy, it's midnight for me officially. I'm going to have Night Terrors tonight. Night Terrors, what do you rate it out of 10?
I don't... It's creepy. It's a very creepy episode.
A very creepy episode.
I would say an 8. Very, very creepy episode, but not generous. Not amazing. I love that there's that one clip that everyone on TikTok did when they were like dressed up as the 11th Doctor, like when Doctor Who TikTok was taken off, and it was everyone being like, pantophobia. It's a fear of everything, not a fear of pants, including pants, I suppose, and all that. Like, that quote, whenever someone cosplayed as the 11th Doctor, that was the quote they would lip sync on TikTok for some reason.
No, it's good.
Hey, Jay in the chat saying whoop whoop crispy hour. Wow. Do you guys not like me?
Whoop whoop crispy hour.
Need I remind you who created the idea for this podcast? Watch it, you lot. I'm not one to exert my power too much, but I will do it here when I feel invalidated. I've been invalidated.
I will exert my power.
And what is your power?
By giving this episode a 7 as well. I actually
You're going to exert your power of the podcast again. Oh, what happened? Oh, God, you've taken over the podcast again.
It's the crispy hour of power. Yeah, Crispy hour of power. David Tennant is my dad, not yours. Here we go.
I've been seeing all the set reports. Come on, Crispy. Catherine Tate
Catherine
is
Tate
back,
is
of course.
back, of course.
Neil Patrick Harris going insane. But to me, there's only one big name. David Tennant is my dad. I hope you're okay with that. David Tennant is my dad, not a man.
Is he back? This is mad.
Oh, God, I love it.
It's an absolute banger.
Such
absolute
a good, like,
banger.
you genuinely, when I put that into the podcast, it was stuck in my head for literally, like, days.
Oh.
Because David Tennant,
Troy.
yeah, he is my freaking dad. I don't even need
It's a
auto-tune,
banger.
bro. Look at me. I
It's a banger.
go off, man.
I only used 80% auto-tune.
Only
20%?
80%?
The real deal.
Wow.
Real deal.
Wow.
I know. But I haven't told you about this. I feel like I'm going to make an extended version. Full 3-minute song. We'll see. Maybe that can be a little Christmas present for everyone in the Who's There community.
Do it. That could
Maybe
be.
we'll
That
check
could
that
go
out
up the
there.
week we haven't got an episode, and it could be on the podcast only.
Maybe that's what I was going to pitch you. So yes, absolutely.
Do it.
Absolutely. That's a little Christmas present.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Troy.
All right, carry on with the rankings.
We have to get through this. The Girl Who Waited. Out of 10.
10.
The 10. Well
10.
directed. Troy, The God Complex.
I need to watch this one again, to be honest, because I remember watching it the second time around and liking it more. Although I'm David Williams.
Sam.
What are you giving it?
Praise him.
Oh, praise. Oh, I see you did that. It didn't come through on Discord fully, so I didn't get what you said. I'm gonna give it an 8. Although, as a side joke, I'd like to just reference the Doctor Who Twitter, who did a bit of a goof about a year ago. Because obviously we see the Doctor open his door, but we don't see what's in it in the God Complex. We do, of course, then find out that it was the crack. We find that out in Time of the Doctor. That's what he saw in the
Time of the
room.
Doctor.
Yeah, in his last episode, it shows you him opening the door and the crack's in there. But the Doctor Who Twitter account, when it was like, I think it was 10 years ago today, the God Complex aired. What was behind the Doctor's door? Why did we never find that out? Something like that. And everyone was like, Bestie.
Well, we did.
We did find out. I think you need to
definitely
rewatch
did.
your Matt Smith era. But yeah, so I'll give it about an 8. What about you?
Yeah, I really, when I first watched this episode, me and my sister were like actually freaked out from this episode because it deals with some pretty big themes on religion and everything. It's quite a heavy episode and there's like quite a death toll. And so after watching this one, we were like, oh gosh, that was a bit too much. But now watching it, I really appreciate this episode. And there's a little bit at the end where the Doctor like drops Amy and Rory off and gives them a house, gives them a hearth. And it's really well done. And like I feel like Matt Smith, you know, when we look back on him, people think, oh, he was the quirky Doctor. He used his hands a lot. But his acting in that scene when he's like being nice and letting them go because he doesn't want to see them die, you can really tell that like Matt Smith cares about these people. It's nice. It's very nice. So I'm going to give it maybe an 8 as well.
And also the foreshadowing. He says, you can't just take us around the universe and then drop us off like we shared a cab. And he went, what's the alternative? I stand over your grave.
Oh my gosh, the amount of fan edits I've seen with that and then cut to Angels Take Manhattan.
He tried, and then because he kept going with them, that's what happened, you know?
Oh, Docky. All right, here we go. Final 2 episodes. Closing time, Troy.
13 out of 10.
Yeah,
no,
13
I would
out of
give
10.
it...
Agree.
It's probably the weakest episode of the series, so if I'm doing it based on what I've ranked everything else, did I give anything a 6? I think I might have done, so I'm going to give that a 5.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
probably
going to give it a 5 as
the weakest
well.
Sideman story of the new era of Doctor Who. People really don't like the next Doctor that much, but I think it's much better than Closing Time.
It's just a shame because like that is the penultimate episode of the series, and I don't know. It definitely dropped the ball. I don't know. It doesn't stick with you. It's a fun little like quirky piece with. I mean, Matt Smith's comedic timing in this, and his chemistry with James Corden is quite good. Is quite great.
Yeah, they're
probably
great.
the highlight.
Because I'm in love with you, Craig. So I can stop him from looking behind him, and he goes, "What? You're up?" I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like there's some good moments with those two. There is some good moments.
It's funny, but I don't know. All right, Troy, the big finale, the Wedding of River Song. What are you going to give it out of 10?
Before Ranskov Kolos, it was commonly regarded as the worst Doctor Who finale.
It was. Yeah.
So, I don't... It's funny, because I remember when my mum and I were rewatching, this was the episode when even my mum was going, right, Troy, what is going on here? I have no idea what's happening anymore. And I'm like, honestly, I only just about understand it myself. I think Moffat got a little bit too overcomplicated with his concepts. I get, obviously, the idea is now, he tried to break a fixed point in time. Time went all over the gaff, and it's basically them just trying to fix it. That was a very British bit of slang there. But
Yeah.
it works in some ways, but it doesn't feel like a finale in the same way that any other finales felt like.
No.
It feels like the bookend to a story, but not the bookend to a series. Do you know what I mean? It's weird. So
it's a strange one.
A lot of finales land really, really high for me, and I would rank most finales as 9s, 10s, maybe an 8 at a push. I would give this one either a 6 or a 7. I'll give it a 6.5. I'll settle in the middle.
I will copy you in that regard because, as you know, I can't be original. But I feel like this episode in particular, I feel like definitely hinders people's view on Series 6. Because as we've discussed, this series is an absolute roller coaster, but it has some massive highs. Like, what a opening. The Doctor's Wife on its own deserves all the awards. A Good Man Goes to War is the perfect the mid-series finale or whatever. And The Girl Who Waited also deserves all the awards, but I just feel like it kind of lost momentum at the end there with Closing Time and The Wedding of River Song, and that's what people were kind of left with. And we had this, people were like, oh, this is the River Song series, let's palm it off. But I feel like this episode had some absolute swings, had some absolute hits, but unfortunately had some misses.
Amy sticking the eye patch back on Madame Cavaria.
Oh my gosh. Brill. Huge. Massive. Does a lot for Amy's character. It's questionable.
When 11 tried to set up Rory with Amy, and he was like, she would like to take you out for kissing and scones, was it, or something?
And scones. Yeah. Texting and scones, I think.
Texting and scones. That's it. It. He's like, you've never done this before, have you? He's like, no, I haven't. No, I haven't. Even though he's got a granddaughter, so he must have had game at some point,
True. Docky got game. Docky got game.
William Hartnell back in the day. Love, hate, pride, fear. Have you any romantic feelings, ma'am? Instead, just change it ever so slightly. That's how he flirted with whoever became the original
That is exactly how the first Docky flirted. Correct. That's not what I expected us to talk about this episode, the first Doctor flirting.
Yeah, but there you go. That's a good point to end our Series 6 discussion. But we finish off with a score out of 10, baby. So,
for the entire series.
Your hand is kind of sealed because this is supposed to be your favourite series, so I can't really expect an answer other than what I think is coming. But what would you give Series 6 out of 10, Crispy?
It is my favourite. It is the most nostalgic. Is it the best overall for you? Probably not. For me? Yes. I'm going to have to give it, for all its faults, I don't care. I love it. A 9 out of 10. Let's say a 9 out of 10. Let's say a 9 out of 10. I'm not going to say 10 out of 10.
You've given other series a 9 as well. I'm just saying.
Okay, 9.5. Screw it.
And what if you give another series 9.5?
Well, then I'll have to rethink my life choices, okay? And I will have to do what you did after meeting Heather, and I will sit in the corner of my room and cry about it for a little bit, okay?
That's what I don't even care. Like I was so ready to admit that, we're smashing gender stereotypes.
Oh no, I know. Men can cry, mate.
Especially when they meet their heroes, basically.
Yeah.
So
absolutely
crazy moments. But I would give it. The thing is, in reflecting on the episodes, there are a lot of episodes that I do really like. I think it's what I've said to you. Matt Smith's era as a whole is less replayable for me. I don't go back and pick out Matt episodes
you
as
have
much
said this.
because they're very story arc heavy. I think that's probably why I don't like Series 6 as much, because I don't tend to go back to it as much unless I'm watching it in a package deal. So
yeah,
I would probably give it, I want to say 7, but that feels a bit harsh. Maybe an 8, 7.5, 8-ish, I would say. It's a really strong series.
Okay.
Probably one of the weaker finales of the show.
More generous than I thought you were.
Yeah, I'll go 7. Because the finale's rather weak in places, and there are episodes I'm not as keen on, but there are some real corkers in there. So that's what I go with.
True.
Should we go with some audience answers?
Yeah, all right, everyone, let's, what do you guys think about the series? Quickly.
We have 4 comments on Spotify. First one comes from Felicia, who says, okay. Wait, what? What is this? Okay, with 1, is that okay? Just Googled it. I remember only the God What?
Whoa.
It's like Felicia just just started typing and then didn't stop.
And just kind of went off with it.
I remember only the God Complex, Let's Kill Hitler, and A Good Man Goes to War. The rest are awful. I'm thinking it's the weakest Matt Smith season and the worst of New Who. So Crispy picked out. I gave Crispy a list of 8 names, and I said, right, Felicia. Pick 4 of the names out, and we'll read their comments out. He didn't see the comments, but he picked Felicia.
No.
So Crispy, say what you want to say.
She would be on my side.
Say what you want to say.
Bye, Felicia.
She's gone.
Get out of here.
Oscar Scott said, the girl who wasted is an underrated gem of an episode, such a unique plot, which is the trademark of Doctor Who. When I first watched it, I genuinely cried when Rory has to choose and old Amy is left behind.
It's a banger.
Agreed,
It's
agreed.
an absolute banger.
It's a fantastic episode. Crispy, read the one out from question mark Pauls.
All right, the council.
I love how they call themselves the Council of
They
Pauls.
call themselves the Council
So
of Pauls.
good.
It's just the inside joke has become such a
Again, we need the Paul compilation. We need to make that happen.
Absolutely. All right. The Council of Pauls have said they enjoyed Night Terrors. They found it emotional and beautiful, one of Smith's best. On the other hand, oh wait, we don't have another hand. In conclusion, this series is fantastic. Paul McCartney? I don't
Why did they
understand
say
why
Paul McCartney at the end of
Paul
it?
McCartney. I don't know.
He's joined the council.
Oh my god.
He's joined the council.
Paul McCartney is on the council. Is that a sign-off?
Maybe.
Is that a
Maybe
sign-off?
it
Is Paul McCartney now part of the Council of Pauls?
The Beatles listen to this.
My
clearly.
goodness.
And then we close
Wow.
off with a new listener on Spotify. We got our regulars, but we have a new commenter, Crispy. So introduce them.
GC616.
GC616.
Oh, am I saying this? Sorry.
Yes, you are. I'm
I
leaving
was
that
like-
pause in. That was
I was
great.
like, I can introduce them. This is GC616. Okay, and they have said an incredibly underrated season, despite a lacking finale. The Doctor's Wife and the God Complex are some of the best of Eleven's era. I hope RTD gets Neil Gaiman back to write more episodes in the future. That is a rumor I read as well, that they want to get Neil Gaiman back. That would be nice. That would be
very
nice.
cool.
But yes, very good take there, GC616, and welcome to the Who's There show. I hope your name isn't Paul, because we
enough of you
have
already.
a council of them already. Yeah.
And so just to finish off, we want to close with something else from one of our listeners. The lovely Sarah Glover, who has commented on our live streams, posts, and all sorts.
Sarah,
for a very
and she's
long
in the
time.
chat right now.
She is still in the chat. This is how we're going to end the episode. So audio listeners, you're not going to get as much out of this. We apologise. But we will wrap up and tease our next episode. So stick around because we got some to talk about. But Sarah Glover told us she won a competition a little while ago to get a tour of the TARDIS the day before it was broken down. Jodie's TARDIS. And when we talked about it, we said about how impressed we are. And I said to Sarah wants to be her best friend. She still hasn't replied to that. But no, she sent us a bunch of photos. So we just want to go through them very quickly, have a little look through and see what we've got. So let's go through them. So here is our first one. That is the exterior of the TARDIS
Oh,
from the
so
set.
cool.
Look at that. Look at that. It's only going to get better, Crispy. It's only going to get better. Here is our second picture. Sarah going into the TARDIS. We've got this in, like, frames. This is great.
That
This
looks
is so
unreal.
Good. I know. Then we have going inside the TARDIS. Look at this. Look at this, man.
Oh my gosh. I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous.
No, not at all.
I'm
Definitely.
not.
I'm not either. Then we have a piece of the inside of the TARDIS for detail.
Yeah.
They did a few different pictures here. There's quite a mix here. But, like, it's just, look at that. How crazy is that? Man.
So cool.
So cool. So cool. We then have another picture inside the TARDIS. I just want to take one of those big pieces and just pull them off and just take it home.
Literally.
Oh, look
Chuck
at
it up on the wall.
Cool. Exactly. I'd have it on the wall. I'd take the Captain America shield. I wouldn't. I'd find somewhere else to put it. But it's so cool. It's so cool. Then we have Sarah posing with the TARDIS. Like
the power
so
shot
cool.
right there.
So cool. I love it. And then another one of the TARDIS. There's just loads of pictures here. There's like 10 or 11 pictures here. This is great. And then after this, we get a few backstage pictures. There's another one of the TARDIS. That was the file names changed. That was going backstage, but that's another one of the TARDIS. Another one of the TARDIS. Look at these. The detail in this TARDIS is so good.
So cool.
Look at the lighting rig at the top as well. Just notice that. You can see that from the back in the background. That is so
Unreal.
cool. That is so cool. And there's the top of it. Matteo saying, "Did you steal any bits of the TARDIS, Sarah?" You're like it's a Marvel film. Did you take a Thor hammer home with you? Did you take a Mjolnir? You took some stuff. And then we have a Dalek.
Oh, whoa, I haven't seen these
Now,
ones.
Sarah said in the email, I realised that was why I was still on her email so I could read the message out that was attached with it. I'm an idiot, Crispy. What am I?
No, you're not. You are a smart boy. You're an
I'm
idiot sandwich.
No, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot sandwich. There we go. I was waiting for that. When did she send us the images? It wasn't this long ago. It wasn't in October. No, it was more recent than that. There's loads of emails I just haven't opened because it's mostly just saying, someone commented on your video. It's like, yes, we know. We read them. We read our comments. We're nice guys.
Yeah.
There's the interview with Matthew. Me arranging that.
This is the segment of the show where Troy goes through our emails, everyone. It's a very exciting time. We're going to do it every single week from now on.
I can't find it,
a
though.
recurring
We have got a
segment.
problem. I actually can't find it. There
Can
it
you
is.
just type in Sarah?
There
Oh,
it
yeah,
is.
there it-
She said, to give some context to these photos, I insisted on being the first through the door, and my dad took pictures of me doing that. The Dalek was supposed to be in the studio, but they couldn't get it out the door, begging the question how it got in there in the first place. Very true. So it was in the
That's a good
offices.
point.
The big green room, which you're about to see is the last picture here. There you are. The big green room is the largest studio, and the producer showing us around said the biggest set he could think of that had been that had been in there was the Thames for the Ice Fair one in Series 10. So the Ice Fair was filmed in that area as well.
Oh, cool.
Although those are just pictures of me and my family took around the TARDIS, and of course myself pulling the lever. We had a great family shot outside, but I'm only sending you pictures of just me. Now, this is a bit, I did try and look this up, but I couldn't find it. She said, also, if you want to hear more than I can write on here, I did actually record a podcast talking about it with my dad, as he works for a local community radio station. The station was called
awesome.
Radio Verulam, at the time, but recently changed its name to Hertz Mix 92.6, so not sure which it's called. And the episode was called We Won, with a picture of my dad running away from the Dalek, if you're interested. I tried to look that up before this, Sarah, and I couldn't find it. So if you can find a link to it in any way, shape, or form, and comment on the video or something, we can look into it then and maybe see if we can promote it for you guys.
Yeah, do that.
Because it'd be lovely to share that around. But there you go. There are the photos. And I think I
It's
saw...
awesome, Sarah.
I think I saw Sarah ask a question earlier, and that takes us on to us closing this episode. Because this is going to be about a 2-hour episode, just shy. This is like Red Cassette levels now. So hope you all enjoyed this bumper episode. Very, very fun time. This was a lot to talk. I love this, man, because we got to spend so much time talking. I hope the listeners aren't put off by how long this is.
A little bit of a catch up.
Hopefully
we'll see. We'll see.
Crispy has doubts. Crispy thinks they might.
I don't know. I do a lot of 2-hour car rides, but I don't know if a lot of other people do.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You can break them into segments. My mum does that as well. You know, her drive to work isn't that long, so, you know. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up episode 37, looking back on Series 6. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, and this is my chance to live chat to get one more push out there, because by the time this goes up, it will already be too late, unless you can get to Telford very quickly. But episode 38 is titled Troy Met Christopher Eccleston, because this weekend it is Wales Comic Con once again, and that means I'll be going to the Comic Con in Telford on both days, and I'll be meeting Christopher Eccleston, Eve Miles, Sophie Aldred, Janet Fielding, and Gemma Redgrave. That's the current plan in terms of the Doctor Who cast. Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy are there, but as I said, I don't have much money, so I'm not going to see them again, annoyingly. I'll get another chance at some point, no doubt, unless someone, you know, Crispy, do you want to airdrop me £1,000? That'd be great.
Yeah, no worries.
Thanks, bro.
No
Okay,
worries,
send my
mate.
way. Like, instead of plane tickets, just send it to me now.
Yeah, gotcha.
Because you can get a photo with all three of them together, Sophie, Janet, and Gemma, but I've just gone for individuals for the time being. That's probably better. But the Christopher Eccleston will no doubt be really good. We'll have pictures to share, be all sorts of stuff. But, if anyone is going to Wales Comic Con this weekend, please do come and find me and say hi. I would love to meet people. I really, really would. For context, on Saturday I'll be going in full Jodie cosplay, so just standard 13th Doctor. On the Sunday I'll be wearing the mashup outfit for Power of the Doctor. So the coat, the question mark jumper, all that with the scarf. So just keep it out basically for a guy with ginger pompadour in Jodie's coat. Probably won't be anyone else there fitting that description. So keep an eye out, and if you see me,
good.
please come and say hi. My mum will be with me, but she'll be lovely as well. She always is. Well, she might bite if you say something mean, but apart from that, no. It'll be lovely.
Be nice,
so,
guys.
I think, Sarah,
Be
you said
nice.
you're going to be there on the Saturday. If anyone else is there as well, and you see us about, please, please, please say hi. I will. The best thing to do is I will say, try and, if you want to keep in touch with me, my Twitter, I'll put my Twitter in the description, in the chat here, and I'll say it on the audio version. It's at Red Archer Live, RANL have capital letters, but I think if you look it up, you probably still come up the same. But send me a tweet if you're nearby and try and give me some kind of direction. I might try and find you depending on where I'm up to that day. But please, please, please do come and say hi. It'd be very cool. And if we can get pictures, I'll show them on the podcast. That would also be cool.
Woohoo!
You know, that'd be cool. Georgia Tennant's brothers are there too. I didn't know that actually, Sarah. I did not know that.
Oh.
It's very cool. But also Troy Baker, the voice actor's there. So it's going to be when Troy met Troy, possibly. I'm going to see if I can get an autograph from him.
Troy met Troy.
And ask him maybe about being on the Redcast. But he's a big name, so he probably won't do it. But I'll still ask.
Of course.
Still ask. But either way, that's going to wrap up the episode. Crispy, what are your closing comments? You know, I see you've drawn more marker on your head, and I don't know why you did that for the bit, because honestly, I don't know how you're going to get that washed off unless your pen's much better than mine, because mine is already, I can see it, it's literally seeping into my skin. It's actually like, going into like the
well, I
indents.
did, but I don't remember. It's a whiteboard
mine
marker.
Is a Sharpie permanent marker.
Yeah, you see, that's where mine's going to come off real easy. So, basically, Troy, my closing comments about Series 6 is that, hey, We finally got here. We learned that we're not the biggest fans of the James Corden episode, but that's okay. You know? Because Series 6 is quite a mixed bag, much like this episode of the podcast. We unintentionally split it into two parts, much like Series 6.
Yeah.
So,
It was all part of the plan. It was the podcast with a plan.
It's a podcast with a plan.
Crispy? Crispy? No.
My gosh, what a way to end it.
No, I was worried it was my internet. It's more worrying if it's mine, because then I'm like, we'll keep that silence in there. That's Crispy's internet dying. Keep going, Crispy, quick, before you leave. Before you leave, go.
I was just gonna say, this ending right now with me is as clunky as the Wedding of River song. So thank you very much.
There we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you all next weekend with episode 38, where I talk about meeting Christopher Eccleston, as well as the other members of the Doctor Who cast I have discussed. But apart from that, thank you all for listening and watching, and we'll see you all next week. Alonzi.
Alonzi, baby.
And there we go. That's a wrap on that. And that is probably going to be 2 hours dead. That's ridiculous.
Oh. God, I need to sleep.
You need to sleep. Yeah, you have a sleep. You have a sleep. I'm honestly genuinely wondering if we should like change the title. So it's like looking back on Series 6 and a lot of news or something.
Yeah.
We probably should do that, right?
No, we definitely need to do that.
Yeah. It's not 2 hours on Series 6, so we're still here, by the way, live chat. We're going to go in a minute, but I just got a message, Crispy. I'm very sad. I had a free meeting booked for possibly getting some more private tutor lessons to get me some more money, but they've cancelled the meeting.
Oh, that's a bit rude.
Yeah, it is a bit rude. What's this? They've updated the safeguarding guidelines. That's fine. That's okay. I'm fine with safeguarding. I'm just going to do this real quick while we're talking. I need to mark myself as free for more meetings. I am. You can book me if you want me. You can find me left of center. That's a Suzanne Vega song. That you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that reference. No. I should mark myself some free meetings for next week so people can book me in if they want to for some private lessons. Boom. Awesome. I've been boosted. So what's happened with the meeting here? Sorry to let you know, cancel your free meeting. We'll hope you get new bookings in your calendar soon. Thanks. Oh. So they just like, I can't even message them to ask about it. They've just straight up cancelled it. Well, that's nice. Thank you very much. I was excited to get more money.
What a way to end things.
Bruh. Well, I guess I'll have to archive that chat. Bruh.
Bruh.
There you go. Can everyone get some can we get some sad faces in the chat for me, please?
Sad faces in the chat. Yeah. Sleep, Crispy. It's midnight for you. Yes, it is.
It is.
It is, Brandon.
You could do it sleeping.
I have to be up in a few hours for work and then drive an hour. So let's hope that I survive.
Right. Well, I'm teaching in half an hour, so I need to go have a break anyway and get some food. So I will leave you be. I'll let you go, Crispy. We'll keep you for a little bit longer and just bully you. Right. But we'll let all of you guys go. So thank you all so much for hanging out. That was a very, very long recording.
No, it was a massive. Thank you everyone for being a part of that. It was massive.
It's very cool. 4-hour stream, or what's the point of being alive?
What's the point of being?
What's the point of being alive? It's not to make others die, as Evil Dan would say.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so thank you all for hanging out. It's been a very, very fun stream. So, did we mention the Christmas special? We did. At the start of the recording. So, as a reminder, so we got episode 38 is next week with Christopher Eccleston. The week after, we have a plan with a guest, but the guest is not replying currently, and we're trying to get that sorted. They are currently very busy, so I'm not blaming them.
But we have a backup idea as well.
We have a crossover plan one way or the other, but I don't know how long we want to keep either of them waiting because we need to be professional. Okay, we need to be professional.
I'll text you when I wake up.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
So thank you all very much for hanging out. But remember, so 38 Christopher Eccleston, 39 will be a crossover of some kind. And then the final episode of the year, episode 40, will be the best festive specials. And we will air that live 3 weeks today on Thursday, the 22nd of December.
Oh, yeah.
So get excited for that. Nice little bit of Christmas time. Let's see if I might get a Santa hat, instead of the N7 cap. No way. I did buy an Overwatch cap recently. There was a snapback, and I was going to wear that, but I wasn't sure. When do I break the tradition? When do I wear a different cap?
I don't know.
The only ever time I wore a different cap was episode 2, where I wore a Hawkeye cap. That's it.
That's right. I do remember that.
Because you made it a joke for the intro, yeah. So
yeah.
If I ever wear another cap now, everyone's going to go, what?
Who is
the
that
picture
man?
with me with hair. Everyone was like, I forgot Troy had hair. It's like, yeah, I'm not bald. I have a big forehead, but I'm not bald, So
yeah.
There you go. But anyway, as per usual, this will be able to watch afterwards when we wrap this up now, so don't worry. And the live chat will be accessible. Very sorry about that for Power of the Doctor, as I said. I tried to remove a copyrighted song because it allowed us to turn monetization on, because we're famous. But apparently muting the song made the whole stream go, actually, you can't see the live chat now. Video length didn't
Very
change,
rude.
but the live chat apparently just disappeared into the ether. So very, very disappointed. You've never done an episode without this hat. Wow, Sarah! Fake fan, episode 2! Hawkeye cap, come on! I'm disappointed now. Very disappointed.
Oh my gosh.
Very disappointed. She's let me down, you know? She's saying she wants to meet me on Saturday, and now, do you know what? I'll just be looking at her very disappointedly on Saturday.
You say no.
I won't. But she might say, where's the hat? I won't be wearing the hat, so there you go. Do you want to go to bed, Crispy, and I'll just chat to everyone for another 3 hours, you know?
Can I go?
Do you want to go?
I need to sleep. I'm scared I'm gonna fall asleep on this stream.
So,
but I love everyone, and I love talking today, and I just
end the call and then just like go back to my screen. Just like we just go to like my Twitch screen. Where's my Twitch screen? There it is. Yeah. Just go to my Twitch screen and just hang out. There's a sub goal I need to change now because we're in December. Look at that. There you go, everyone. So this is my Twitch screen. Crispy's gone now. He's not here anymore. So thank you all for there you go. Thank you all for hanging out. Greatly appreciated. We will see you all in 3 weeks' time for the next live episode and a week on Saturday for the next actual episode.
Bye.
Because we're presuming we're not doing a special episode for Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. It's a bit late for that now. But it was very good. Very, very good. You have seen it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
It was fun.
The opening song is so good.
Yeah,
I don't know what Christmas is, but Christmas time is here. And off we go. Thank you very much for hanging out. We'll see you all next week for episode 38 and in 3 weeks' time for the next live episode. Until then, bye-bye. We'll see you all soon. Crispy, feel free to say good luck as the outro kicks off, because you did that last time. But here we go. There's the outro screen. You're not going to hear from us in about 7 seconds. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye, 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 bye-bye.
Good luck.